Big move to the upside here for North American markets after Gilead has released data saying their latest trial for remdesivir when it comes to COVID-19 treatment met end results or met the end goal of the trial. So positive news. Gilead shares were scheduled to reopen at 9 o'clock here. We'll have to jump back into things and have a look. But the market making a big move to the upside on that news. Some positive momentum finally, hopefully, for the overall recovery of the economies. Global economies still really shut down right across the board as a result of the COVID-19 outbreak. Elsewhere, we have Fed decision coming up this afternoon at 2 p.m. More attention will likely be paid to the guidance and the path forward that the Fed lays out in its statement. Fed Chair Powell's press conference to follow the decision coming up at 2 p.m. Obviously, another big batch of earnings news to get through this morning from the likes of Boeing. We have Alphabet, Google's parent, out with a positive report. They're up 8% this morning. AMD, to name a few. We'll get to all of those. Retailers had a big bounce back yesterday on hopes that economies can slowly start to reopen and get back to work. We have electric car maker NIO shares sharply higher this morning after they announced a new cash infusion as well that they'll put towards product development, they're saying. So we'll have a look at NIO shares. Asian markets were mostly positive overnight. Europe's open, now back in positive territory as well. It is Wednesday, April 29th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. A look at North American markets as we head towards the open here. Just under 30 minutes to go before we get things underway. Nicely positive right across the board for the second day in a row here. More than 1.5% for all three U.S. markets. TSX futures here in Toronto up more than 2%. Brazil's open, trading higher as well. Look at Bitcoin, 6% to the upside today. Yeah, there's crude oil, 18% now to the upside. On hopes that things will get back to normal sooner than later, and hopefully this Gilead news will help in that. Lots to get through this morning, obviously. This is positive news, guys. Did Gilead reopen there? I haven't had a chance
85. I don't know what it reopened at exactly, but it's at 85.70 right now, up a whopping 9%. I'm actually long right here, guys, 85. So we're in the money already, $1 here. We're going to wait to see if it takes out this 87. But yeah, I'm long 85 right now and going to take a shot. 85 even is my price, and it's been bouncing around here. Not very many shares, but yeah, what a great story here. Remdesivir, we saw them, Gilead move higher a couple days ago here on this news before fading back down. So we've been up here before. Look, this is what a coincidence. We stopped at 87.50 both times they released and had some data. So 87.50 stops. Today we go from 79 up to 85. Let's see what happens. I'm waiting for this 87, so we'll see if that one breaks. I like it. Obviously the world likes this. Let's get going here. Up 2% on the ES. A lot had to do with Google as well. Some big earnings today, Neil, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a million things to get to, so we don't want to waste too much time jumping into irrelevant stuff. But 87.50 on the daily chart. Big level there on Gilead as well. So make sure you're watching that. I'm in a couple of names as well. One of them AMD. I'll quickly go over the numbers for you guys. 20,000, Amsterdam, New York, top market, top trader by individual market here. LSE 18,000, someone pulled out yesterday. Chicago CME 14,000, and in the Amex 10,000. I think the numbers will be good again today, Brendan.
Yeah, another 2% there for the NASDAQ as we speak. So a nice look here. As we head towards the open, we have lots to get to this morning. As we mentioned, a whole bunch of earnings reports. Right now, we're going to go over and check in with Valeria.
Hello everyone and welcome to Trader TV Live. Guys, if you're passionate about trading, if you want to learn or improve your trades and just spend a great time with a great trading company, you're at the right place in the right time. Please like our show and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more trading content. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
All right, let's get going here. We're going to bring in our good friend Alex Bowles from the NEO Exchange here in Toronto and have a chat with him about what is happening so far on the Canadian landscape. It's been a busy week once again this morning, Alex. Obviously, energy names in focus again this morning. We had a big move down over the past couple of days. We're back to the upside this morning. How are things shaping up on the NEO Exchange?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Brandon. It's so far so good. It's been a very great month. Just before we kind of get into that, I wanted to take a second and give you guys a big thank you and a congratulations for your initiative with the Flemington Food Bank there. It's definitely needed, and it's a great idea at this time. And, in a similar vein, NEO's tried to do something to reach out and support the community. So last week we announced our initiative of donating $25,000 to the Sunnybrook Hospital to support frontline supporters. And our CEO, Joss, and his wife, Tanya, will actually be matching that donation of $25,000. So, we're trying to do our part and support the community to the best of our ability, but we really appreciate, you guys taking the initiative and kind of leading the charge there.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic efforts, obviously, Alex. That's great to hear. This time, obviously, a difficult one for everyone right across the board. So, a little goes a long way, I guess, as they say, when it comes to personal protection equipment and helping those on the front line. So, congratulations to everyone over at NEO for a great effort.
Thank you. Yeah, but on the trading side, it's been a great month for us so far. 10%, just north of 10% of the overall trading yesterday. 16% of that, just north of that, can be attributed to CSE listeds, 15% to the venture, 7% to the TSX, and about 97% of our NEO listeds were done on our market. So April's been a great month. Last Thursday we hit approached record territory, 11% of the overall trading on all securities combined. 20% CSE and about 8% TSX, and that equated to about 11% overall, as I mentioned. So, it's going along very well. And I was taking a look at the numbers actually before we got on this call. Your firm has been putting up some McDonald numbers with us so far, so great support. You definitely, I think, in terms of volatility, I was looking at kind of the venues and the matching priority that were being used. It looks like your community is really utilizing the NEO N book, sitting there passively, which leads me to believe there's a lot of active incoming orders for them to interact with. And then when you kind of look at the breakout on the NEO L side, it's kind of a 50-50 active and passive split. So it's really encouraging. It seems like the users and the community is really understanding how to use the matching priority as well as the functions and features of our various venues.
Yeah, it's great to hear, Alex. Obviously, another kind of uptick when it comes to, volume coming from this side of things. Has there been any kind of slowdown over the past week or 2 weeks even? Last we spoke, we were mentioning, the increased volume on the way down, the market kind of consolidating here, looking for that next move. Hopefully, maybe this news this morning will give us that. Has there been an increase or in volumes, or are we kind of stable at this point?
I'd say we're pretty stable. We're starting to level off where we were kind of pre-market volatility, or maybe around January type time frame, maybe the end of 2019. So we're hovering around 150 to 180 million shares a day on our exchange. The trade count is pretty much lockstep with that all the way through. So that's kind of normalizing to where we were at before. But we are definitely seeing our volume has increased in the last month, and that's kind of the new benchmark. So it's definitely encouraging to see, but it's chugging along nicely for sure. Great stuff, Alex. Any individual names we want to get out to the traders this morning as far as things that have been moving over the past couple of days? Yeah, absolutely. Brandon, you hit the nail on the head this morning. It's all energy and mining focused. That's where we've seen a lot of the updates. So Guyana Goldfields, that's a TSX listed. We did about 25% of that yesterday. Ionic Brands, again, that's another mining one. CSE listed, we did about 40% of that yesterday. The Horizons ETF Beta Pro crude oil leveraged ETF, which we spoke about last week, we did about 10% of that overall. Hillcrest Petroleum, 22%, and Return Energy about 25%. So energy definitely is kind of the theme of the week, flavor of the month almost. And even in terms of pre-market trading, we're seeing a lot of pre-market trading right now. We've got about 20 million shares already done before the open. So do use NEON if you have any pre-market activity you want to get rid of or you want to leverage. NEON is open from 8 till 5, supporting all listings. It'll be an interesting session once again with oil prices obviously back to the upside. Alex Bowles from the NEO Exchange. Great stuff as always. We'll check in next week. Great. Thank you very much. Have a great day. There we go, guys. Look at the Canadian landscape as we head towards the open here on a Wednesday. Obviously, Wednesday means crude oil inventories as well, coming up at 10:30 this morning. That number really hasn't affected price overly over the past couple of weeks, but we'll let you know when that comes out. Let's jump into things here. We have lots of earnings, to say the least, to get through. The first one we'll talk about is going to be Alphabet, Google's parent, reporting Q1 EPS and revenue that both easily topped expectations. But we were kind of sitting here talking
talking about this aftermarket yesterday. The YouTube ad revenue did decline by 14% year over year, partially due to an industry-wide kind of dip in ad sales and ad revenue. So, guys, Google obviously benefiting regardless. I mean, we're up significantly, even for a high-price stock this morning.
Yeah, I mean, the price of the stock, as we all know, is pretty irrelevant when you're looking at that. The only thing it is going to be hurting, guys, are your accounts if you don't have enough funding here to take some shares in Google. Many accounts, you can take, obviously, one share, but you're probably not going to get a great move on just one share today. But yeah, 1345 here is the top, up 8.7%. I was telling these guys they have 18% of their market cap is in cash. So there you go. So Google today rocking and rolling. What a great report. I mean, although the market's up 1.71%, I really think it's Google that's saving the day here. With FANG yesterday got crushed. If you guys want to see yesterday's destruction, we opened up 1270 before closing down here at 1230. When you look at a daily chart, so Google's, we were down 3% yesterday, giving some back there, getting it back today. So as we run up, guys, 1340. I mean, I was saying yesterday that we need to get above 1320, which was right here, this little bottom, a couple bottoms, 1320. Now that we're above that, I think you use 1320. Maybe it's 13, yes, I mean, what's this bottom? 1319, 1320 or so as we zoom in here as a bottom. So I would say you take the top off here, 1345 pretty easily. Next stop, probably 1370 on Google. If you look at a daily chart, we haven't been up here in a while, so that's why we have to go back to these, March highs here, where we got as high as 1500. But look, Google up 8% today. The best names just keep on giving, and this is just another one. Get your money in high stocks here. This is not only a tech stock, but also a value stock, in my opinion. They have a 25 billion share buyback program, guys. 25 billion share buyback program and 18% of their market cap in cash. So do I love this stock? You can take one guess.
The other thing about that too, when you talk about value, is it's one of the value names because it's in tech. It's not getting sold off when value is getting sold. I watch it like Pfizer do that all the time. Watch for 1300 is going to be a support level on Google. That's all I'll add.
All right, guys, Boeing, the next one up, obviously reporting a loss, but the loss smaller than expected, slightly smaller than expected. $641 million loss for their latest quarter. They also burned through $4.3 billion in cash and said they still face a dismal market when it comes to selling planes. So Boeing was higher because of the smaller than expected loss. But look at this, guys, coming in a hurry here. We just came in about $2.50.
Yeah, there's a couple of levels. We've been in breakout territory since that 131.50 level. That's a big one. 138.50 also a level. You can see it coming downside into this now. I'm just structurally looking at 135 even. If we can hold that price, I think it's an interesting long at least. I'm already committed to AMD to the long side here, and I have a CMRX position that we'll maybe get to a little bit later. But Boeing is not something I'm going to trade pre-market, but we've got our levels that we're looking at, 135, 138.50. Those are the big ones right away.
Yeah, I don't really, I was just more looking at AMD and things like that, but Boeing is obviously a big stock that we'll be trading today, and Neil just hit some of those key levels here, fading back down, still up that nice 4% though, so nothing to complain about. Some interesting notes you mentioned there, Boeing. The company burned through $4.3 billion in cash. We know they've taken down that revolver line of credit, so wondering how much more cash there is going to be for Boeing. They need to start selling some planes. Coronavirus not helping that situation. Hopefully Gilead can save the day for Boeing as well and get some of these planes back in the air and get some people traveling again. But until then, guys, watch out for this 135 bottom. There's some condensation down here at 135. We'll see here if we can't come to the downside and break below 135. That's what I'll be looking for.
All right, guys. Sean, you mentioned AMD there briefly. They reported Q1 results that were basically in line with expectations, both on the revenue side and per share side. They also said they expect $1.85 billion in second quarter revenue. That was below most estimates that were 1.9 and above. So yeah, to the downside here, guys, for AMD.
Yeah, I know. I think you're long, right, Neil?
Yeah, it's down 2%. I just like the fact that you get aftermarket moves and you see where it bases out, and I like the fact that it's going to open up a little bit higher than that. You get the positive news bumping the market up, of course, with Gilead as well. So you got a couple of things working for you here, working in 8,900. Opening, it's sort of one of those pre-market range plays. You have a quick look at what 54 is for support. I did scalp out of the first long at 60 because it just had a bit of a wall that was trying to get through, but now we're digging in. I got 50 54.50 is a price. Ideally, when we get to the open, if we're still in this range, I'd like to get my price closer to the 25 to 30 mark in front of 54. So that's the idea here. With AMD, if it fills in the gap, you're looking at 55, 60-ish as an full day upward target.
Look, guys, I see a lot of talk here on Blue Apron. Yeah, we'll talk about that one, as that's an arrow down in Whiting, WLL. The thing is, we have a list of stocks here that we've gone through, earnings plays and whatnot. The interesting thing about all of this, guys, stay tuned for what we're doing next. That's why you got to hit the like, you got to hit the subscribe button. We are going to be sending out soon, guys, for free, a watch list that we're talking about, so we can sort of play along here in the open, including all of these names that we're talking about here. We may or may not put on key levels, things like that. So stay tuned, hit subscribe. All of these names that we're talking about here today will be coming back to you, hopefully very, very soon. Look, I don't want to, I mean, me and Neil obviously will go different ways on this one. AMD, you're going to have to wait here for 53.74. Obviously, we don't hold these things forever, so Neil has his outs as well on the downside. I'm going to play the long when it breaks the high of the day, and so I'll be giving up a couple pennies here, and that's going to be 54.75. If we break above that, then we'll giddy up. But I did not like the report. I don't like the fact that it's weaker guidance and lower revenues, so we'll wait to see. I mean, AMD's been a monster. Everybody knows that. We're up to 53.75 here. I think you got $1 worth of range. 54.75, 53.75. It's about as easy as it goes right now.
All right, guys, the next one here, Spotify, another one to the upside this morning in a big way. 10+% right now for Spotify. Yeah, they are stacking the cash. 22% increase year over year in quarterly revenue. They also reported now 130 million paid global subscribers. So nice look here, guys. 10.5% or more even for Spot.
Yeah, I've owned this name for a while, and I was telling some of our traders here that it's been dead money, and it sort of has been. So I'm really glad it's finally starting to get going here. This doesn't look like a big range here, but you have 138 as the bottom on this is a daily chart, by the way, guys, and then 160 to the top. So now that we look at Spotify, it just needs to take out these little wicks right here, and we're kind of doing that right now. 154.70, 155, 154. So we're right here, Spotify looking to take these out, and I think this is a long, no matter which way you say it here, but again, the market's going to tell the story. The spread on this one right now, if you look here at the level one, you have about 50 cents, not really worth getting involved right away. The high is 155.50. That's already a little bit too high for me to go. So if I can buy at 151, 150 today, I think we're stealing it, but we're going to have to wait to see if that does come through. I'm not loving any early positions on this one, Neil.
Yeah, that volume, that 62,000, that spread. On a bigger dip, I really like the 147.50 level, so I'm actually writing that one down so I can have it on my board here for days and weeks in case it comes into play.
All right, guys, let's go to Starbucks, Valeria's favorite stock. The company reporting same-store sales that fell more than expected in the latest quarter, down 10% because of the virus outbreak and store closures, obviously. EPS missed by 2 cents per share. Revenue was actually above expectations. So an interesting look here this morning for SBUX. We were obviously negative early on, but this market move to the upside has helped Starbucks here, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that in just a second. I was literally about to talk about that. I got a pop in AMD to the upside there, guys. So a bit of a pre-market move. I'm going to layer some shares out because I want to make sure if it comes back down, it gives me one of those big wicks off the open, that I can get more in front of 54. I do still have this position on, but I just took out 90 cents on the last exit there. So anywhere from 40 to 90 cents was the win. We were risking 40 cents to the downside. So that's the idea. Hanging on to some at AMD. Last entry was 54.32. But Starbucks, yeah, you know what? Look, we love our coffee here. Starbucks, however, I got to be honest with you, I was looking at a couple of levels here on this name, and one of them was particularly looking at 77 and 77.80 as support. So I'm not saying I hope it goes down, but if it takes out 79, I'm looking for the opportunity to short it. I think there's $1 worth of upside if it can fall down into some support levels. If the market comes down, that's probably something I'll give it a shot. However, it's not going to be a position for me right off the bat. I need to see it break out through that level after the open.
Yeah, no, Starbucks needs to go. I mean, I was just going to put it in order here to break through $80. here. We do get some wicks all the way up to 80.30 now. You can play the clean $80 break here. I think that's a smart play on Starbucks. You do have the bottom of 79.50 or so here. If you look on, this was yesterday's high, 79.50. We're below there right now, but that's a nice little level. You know what? Maybe if we take 79.60 out off the open, maybe you have something here. So yeah, you know, I don't mind that. 79.60 open long on Starbucks. What time is it? Only 10 minutes to go. We may blow that off before open comes, but 79.60 on Starbucks. Looking nice here, and then you have a bottom. I mean, if you just want to, this would be a short scalp, but 60 cents worth of risk. The spread. You know what?
That's the thing. It's that 60-cent range between 79 and 79.60 that's tricky, right?
Yeah. You know, the only thing is, I just don't want to get hammered off the open if it does decide to fall back into the 78 range. So I'm going to put some tester bids down here, 78 or so, but I will take the 79.60 on a break on the open, guys.
All right, guys, going to move on to NEO here. GE also reporting. They reported an 8% decline in Q1 revenue. Total revenue did top $20.5 billion, while EPS was about 5 cents per share. They did say that the third quarter this year is going to hit them the hardest because of the coronavirus outbreak. But yeah, let's go to NEO here. Shares are sharply higher after the Chinese company announced a new 7 billion yuan investment from a private group. The electric car maker said they'll put the money towards development and research. So yeah, NIO here, guys, a name we trade quite frequently on the show, significantly higher.
I mean, it has been a while since we traded, but you're right. We traded quite frequently. A previous level at 375. Interestingly enough, it's trying to hold above that right now. I found that a lot of times go against my gut is the idea here. So I'm actually thinking about fading that one if it breaks 375, giving myself a shot to the downside instead of, you know, my gut sort of telling me it's going to be a decent breakout at 390. And usually when I get this gap up, I end up being wrong about that on NEO. So for me, I'm going to take a shot here shorting 375 if it goes. It's up 14%. I think there's going to be some names that are going to retrace. The market's already coming in on the NASDAQ here, about 30-40 handles off of that move. And you're also seeing the ES pull back slightly. So, you know, NEO for me, it's holding the top. Let's give it one shot through 375 and take that one short. Just got to make sure we got those locates.
Man, there's just so many stocks to talk about here today. It's insane. But yeah, NIO, another good one. We'll talk about GE quickly here for you guys just because it's been there. I like $4 on NIO, but Neil just talked about it, so I think that makes sense. Okay, GE down now. Look, 15 million shares. This is why we have to talk about it. GE comes in, nice little earnings there, 8% decline in revenues, but they not down too much. Big levels here on GE yesterday, 660. That's right where we are right now. If you do take out anything, 690 to the top side. I don't know if we do that. 675 in the pre-market. Not really loving GE. The one thing I did want to talk about quickly was this market on open imbalances, and this is what brings me right to NIO here. You see a nice little 2 million share buy coming through at 9:30 here on NIO. These are just for the NYSE. CCL, we can get to that. What the heck? CCL, wow.
1 point.
Big move up here, yeah. Up 10% already with a big buy imbalance. $16 looking to take out CCL. Definitely something to look at here. The bottom on CCL, though, 15.50. Did not see this move coming. When I checked it, it was like down here at 15.80.18. We rip up almost $1. CCL looks pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of the airlines moving higher this morning as well on volume. Guys, want to get to American. There's so many things to talk about here. American Airlines gapping up ahead of earnings tomorrow. So they're going to report tomorrow. The group as a whole down 40 to 75% as a group since the market topped back in March, before that, before we came down to the lows we put in March. Southwest also on watch today, trading lower after announcing it will boost its capital raise by 50% to $4 billion. But AAL here, guys, more than 3 million shares in the pre-market. This one up 7% as well.
Why?
I mean, pre-earnings breaking through a level like that, 1180, and then coming up 50 cents back now another 30. The day before. I don't know that AAL is going to be the place that I'm jumping into right away. I mean, I would love at some point for us to see a test of 13 to 13.30. That's a good 10% away from here. And your support levels are literally $1 away as well. So you're basically sitting on a move upside, but not quite at the top end of the range. So not a lot in terms of levels to play off of. And then on top of that, you have the earnings coming. Sean, for me, AAL probably a no-go on the day today, but I'd love to see what happens when it gets back to this 1180.
I mean, I'd love to see who's going to be that 10,000 subscriber, because we're only 60 away right now. So we'll hit the fireworks when we get 10,000. If you are the 10,000 subscriber, let us know on the chat, and you may or may not win some of this Trader TV Live merch here. But I would go more about the may not than may, because we don't have any ready for you guys yet to ship out. But okay, AAL, good look there. I just drew this line right here. I'm puzzled by why we're up 7%. It's pre-earnings. We had a question about Tesla coming pre-earnings. And look, they're hard to trade, but we have yesterday's high, 1163, coinciding with a little bottom here of 1163. So if we break that, let's go south side on AAL. But wow, I'm overwhelmed a little bit right now. We have the only position I have on is Gilead, but there's so much to look at off the open, guys. Make sure you keep that chat going, and welcome Kevin and Adam. I think they're on the chat. I don't know. I haven't really seen them today, but hopefully they're there today. What is NAT? We talked about them yesterday. Well, they're
on the move again.
They're on the move again. Okay, we know they're a tanker, but NAT. Let's just call it up.
Big moves in oil, guys, but there's one name I know we want to get to. Brendan at the big screen. I'm actually short this name, Brendan, so I want to hear what you got to say about CMRX.
I will join you on that side of things this morning, Neil. Yeah, CMRX, one of a few little ones. Small cap world here, guys, moving to the upside this morning. They announced after market yesterday that the FDA has given them a go-ahead for the next stage of trials for their COVID-19 vaccine. So nice look here, about 30%. Back above $2. So I'm just going to use 210 and 215, which were these pre-market levels we got up to as a little bit of an out. So tight risk here for CMRX on the downside. I mean, this thing was trading $1.40, $1.50 yesterday. So, 15 cents a risk. Maybe you get 50 cents at the most to the downside here for CMRX, guys.
Yeah, I actually have a tighter stop than you. I was at 205. They're not even giving it as much. You guys are asking about NAT, and it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity already for me. I came in, I was looking at that $7.75 and $8 area where we were shorting it yesterday on the way back in. Bye-bye. So, I mean, you had to basically take in the pre-market in front of those levels. Didn't even give you a test. 750 flush. I guess I would look at, on a retracement, yesterday's bottoms at 720, I guess we could use, and maybe on a pullback, we're going to be shorting that on NAT. But down 7%, already a big time mover here, Sean. There's just so much to get to. I know people are talking about Blue Apron. That's getting absolutely shellacked here, down 25% through the $10 mark. I guess that's the level I'm looking for a retest. When it's down 25% on a name like this, I mean, it's going to be SSR. So actually shorting at the low is going to be a little bit difficult there. So pullbacks are kind of the name of the game. It's only done 500,000 shares. The spread, opens up a little bit. It's only 10 cents now, but I've seen it open up a couple of times here. So a lot to get to. AMD's pulling back in, so I'll look for maybe a re-entry in front of that 54 level.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take a couple 100 shares here of Blue Apron if I can get some here on the downside, as long as we break down this low here. If you call up a daily chart on Blue Apron, you'll see what I'm talking about here. This is these wicks right here, 907, 910 or so. Big move down here on APRN. So we'll look for them to hit for us right now. So we're in Gilead now. We've already taken out this $2. Now it's come faded back down. So we're going to have to wait to see. We took out 50% of that for a win, and now we're down about 50 cents on this one, so we're going to wait to see what Gilead does here off the open. So much to do, guys. AMD, good trade there, going long. Neil did. It did break through that 54.75 area. That was key for me, but you can see it makes that big move up. Good thing getting out, and now
that's why you got to take profit.
Yeah, exactly. Coming straight back down. We only have 2 minutes now. Okay, I just got into Starbucks down here at 78. Hello. I told you I put some orders down here. That's a surprise. So we take a 78 long now. In Starbucks. We're going to hold to see if this breaks through 77. Future's not really doing anything. This should be okay. I thought Starbucks maybe through 80 might be a trade. So let's plant this order back up here at 79 and change and see if we can't get a quick dollar winner. We're long Starbucks on a surprise here. Was not expecting to be long right now, but we are long. Decent amount of shares down here at 78. Let's not give it too much past some of these levels. 77.20 maybe. 77 even. We'll give this about $1 worth of space. Let's see if Starbucks can't get going back to the upside here.
Yeah, and already NAT is moving up here, guys. So I talked about looking for some pullbacks on some of these trades. That one around 720. We're just getting into that $7 mark. So actually looking at this level here, I might take a shot for a few shares with a minute to go. Hopefully right off the open. It's just two positions for me, CMRX short side. And then that AMD didn't quite get that reload as it retested 54.40. I still have some long at 54.30. That should be a good one. There's just so many names to get to. Shout out, I know Adam's going to be on the chat today. Unfortunately, Kevin is not feeling well. So Adam is is solo on there, but he's going to be answering a lot of questions for you guys today. Energy space, I want to get to Whiting very very briefly here before the open. A couple of levels, 140 break we're looking at, 120 support, 120 to 125 has been a big level on Whiting. When it goes below, fantastic resistance. Now we're looking at it as support. 140 break is going to be key for that one. But it's just about 10 seconds to go. We're going to drop that countdown. I believe Randy is on the bell today. Yeah, I got that one right. So we're dropping the countdown. One long, one short. Sean got that Gilead driving the markets to the upside today. 3, 2, 1, and the market is open. Now
okay, there we go. The market is now open. Yeah, let's rock and roll this one. Starbucks here opening up. We are long 78.05. We're going to talk about that one. Hopefully this keeps going upside. We're going to see if we can't get some out in the 40s and let that one run. So right now this is a decent position for us, but not much happening. AMD right now, back to the upside here. This might be a play to watch out for. Watch these futures as we continue to rock and roll here. Blue Apron. Okay, there goes Gilead. APR and Neil. That stock moving around as well. We're waiting for 9. There it goes. It breaks down. So my order goes out, but we missed that trade here on Blue Apron breaking down through $9.
Remember, Blue Apron is going to be SSR. I've triggered into Neo on that break at 375, and I said I go against my gut sometimes on that one by thinking a little bit a reversal there. Blue Apron, I think maybe we'll try for pullback trades to that 940. You're going to have to get some kind of a pullback. There's no other way to get into this one as it's just headed southbound heavily. AMD is cracking back up towards 55, so in the money 20 to 40 cents, but it's whipping all around here. I'm reloading in the 25 range, risking to 54 even.
Yeah, I'm just looking to find out what we need to do here. NIO back to $4. Starbucks, we take a little profit out there at 78.28 there for 20 pennies, but now we're fading back in. We're going to give it back down here below $77, so a lot of room to go here on Starbucks, as I thought was a decent quarter. NIO there breaking through 4. No, NEO taking the other side, going downside now on that Chinese investment there. So we're going to wait to see what is this little wick down here. 369, we could take that out.
I'm going disco ball action, not for AMD, because our first win, we took out the majority of those shares. We just got flushed to 54, but CMRX headed southbound. We got 95 as our average price short. Just took some out at 88, just took some out at 84. Going to hang on to it, but NEO's trying to get going south side as well. We're short both of these names here, guys. We only had 3 positions this morning. It's AMD, CMRX, and NEO, despite how active things have been. CMRX, you can see here, already through that pre-market bottom and just absolutely flushing here. NEO flushing as well, guys. Yep. Fantastic moves on both of these names. I'm looking for about 355 to 360 as an ultimate target. Want to hang on into that range.
Yeah, let's just keep on trading here, guys. I mean, there's going to be some good moves happening for everybody today, including Blue Apron back to the upside now. We've averaged into this short, guys. So right now as we go, we just took a nice little 907 short. Let's see if this name can't come all the way back down here. 870 or so was that bottom there. We are now short a couple shares here in NIO. Our Starbucks going against us right now. We'll have to wait on that one. Wow.
The fireworks. I talked about 355 to 360. We just dipped in there on NEO, so 73 short. We're just able to take a bunch of shares off. We still have half of our position here in the money, about 10 cents. We did take off 15 cents at the larger end of that trade. So once again, profitability on both the short positions. CMRX is holding off a little bit. 195 short. I was only risking a 205, and I've only taken about 20% off, but it can't break 185 just yet. NEO pulling back in. I will not reload. I think you can save that for 380 to check out that level. So we're going to hang on to both of these. I might slide my stop on CMRX. I don't love how much support it's running into at 185. If we break that, I'll be a happy camper.
Okay, here goes AAL. Yeah, CMRX. I should have shorted that one as well with you guys. Let's see. Okay, we take 1261 here long on American Airlines. We notice that one's popping through here. So let's see if we get some out. It looks like it's resisting some 68s here. But here's some 69, so a nice little quick winner on that one. AAL to the upside. We're nicely long here at 1262, so hit the explosion on that one. Look at Blue Apron, guys. We average into this one. Nice little amount of shares available for us on this. It is SSR, like Neil said. We need to crack through this 889, and then who knows below. I mean, this stock here, if you look at our daily chart, we are now below this little level that we're talking about, 917, 918. So let's see if Blue Apron can't continue this move downside here. We're bouncing off this 889, however, guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking at taking a few shares off closer to this break even on NEO just to lighten the position. I should have gotten more out when we were deeper in the money, but I still have half on. And I'm also looking at CMRX. It's that 185 break. For Blue Apron, I'm hoping it would have pulled back into the 920 range. That hasn't happened yet. AMD, however, is holding 54. I might look for a re-entry point in that one if the market can turn around. Brendan, what do you got for us, bud?
The first halt of the day, guys. AMC Theaters just halted on a volatility spike here right off the open. 460 up to 560. Yeah, 33% for AMC. They're going to boycott Universal Studio-made films going forward. Apparently that's good news, guys.
Yeah, good luck with that.
There's a bit of a spat between those two there going on, but we'll see how that does play out. It's a huge move. We'll watch that one when it opens back up in a few minutes. Volatility halt, 5 minutes long typically, so you're going to want to see that one at 9:39. CCL Carnival Cruise, I just put it in the chat for you guys, 16 even on a break just now. So, forget about that 1550 test. It just goes straight to the upside immediately. So you get a break at 16. I might look to scalp a little bit of these shares off if we can, but I mean, support's all the way down at 1550. I don't want to give it all the way to that, but let's see if we can run this to the upside and take some profitability on our first long of the day.
Okay, yeah, Starbucks, we did get out down there, and that was a mess. So Starbucks, we fall in a hole. We missed the boat on that one. But what we are not missing the boat on here, if Blue Apron can crash through this 889, guys, we're going to have a monster winner. So let's just keep hoping that that does happen. We've gotten out a couple times here at 90, and here it comes. Let's see if we break 889 on the downside here. Blue Apron already down that 30%, but we're already loaded up short. So hopefully that one, it just keeps resisting, man. Not enough people, for some reason, hitting this 89. Let's see if 90 continues to be strong here and hold this level. We just need to break down through that to see what happens here. AAL, I'm going to give it back to this level right here. We've been in and out. It does get as high as 85. Wow. Wish I would have had some orders out there. I didn't. We'll wait to see here if it comes back through 1250. Some resistance levels there. 1235 as well to go. Here we go. Okay, Blue Apron now breaking. I got a bid. Oh, I already got that bid at 81. So there you go. We're short at 907 now on Blue Apron with a decent amount of shares. So let's see if this one can't keep coming down, guys. We talked about this one. It's been a monster trade for those of you looking at the coronavirus plays, but maybe that is over now. So 880 back down to the downside. Whoa, here we go. Wow, big winner here. Thank God, making up for all those losers I have. Blue Apron to the downside. What's up, Brandon?
Facebook really strong, guys. 5.25% here for FB. Just broke 192 on decent volume there. They obviously had the news last week of kind of moving into the Zoom video conferencing space. So FB to the upside today, guys.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to look at just a quick second here, but I want to get you back to a flyer here. CCL again on the move. I scalped off about a third of the position for that little 10-cent win. I like to do that on the breaks, but it hasn't even tested below 16 even. So once again, Carnival on the run. CMRX is still in the money for us. I'm reloading a little bit into NEO if I can get it. I just tried 74 and 75s, did not get those shares, and that's headed back south side. But Carnival just turning around here. 16.17 is the high. One long Carnival, CMRX, NEO, both short. I want to get to the energy space, guys. Chesapeake, massive move up initially, but it just flushed $1.50. Sorry, no, check that. $2 move to the downside. I'm going to be looking to short this one if it gets back into this pre-market range. 31.50 to 31.80 is going to be my target on Chesapeake for the short. I'm also carefully watching Whiting to see if it'll move up and give me that little break that we were talking about pre-market.
Hey guys, it's also Fed Day. We didn't talk about that today yet, so that's coming out later at 2 o'clock. We'll see what the Fed's talking about here. We are now short back Starbucks, so I'm making some of that money back right now. As look at Blue Apron, guys. This is the chicken dinner winner of the day easily. I mean, this is a monster trade. We're short right now, guys. $9.07. This is a $9 name, and we're 60 cents in the money right now on this one with a decent amount of shares. So really, really happy about that. We are also 30 cents now in the money on some of these Starbucks reload shorts. So we'll wait to see. I thought that it was a good quarter for them, but obviously I'm just going to play the tape here, and this one wants to keep going down. AAL, we've just took some more out here in the high 60s. I don't know what to do with this one, man. I thought this would be a little more of a runner. They do have earnings coming out. As the futures continue to fall down here, AAL looks like it wants to join the party. So that one's a missed opportunity to get out here in the high 80s, but a pretty good trade overall.
Yeah, I'm looking at INO now. This is a good one for us basically all week. I mean, well, for the last little month that it's been in play. Watching anything around that 14 level, it tried to just flush to the 13 even. It broke the pre-market low. That's 13. 1370. So that target area would be in front of that. We'll take our first shot. We do have shorts available, so no problems with that. CCL pulling back in, so you take some profit. And now I'm going to be looking to load back into this range again, just going long on these little pullbacks while trying to play what could be an upward trend and what has been in the last little bit in CCL. So INO, we're looking for at about 70. NEO getting close to that reload area, guys, so let's watch out quickly for that. Gilead, I just want to get to, that's flushing. We closed yesterday at 79, so it'll be interesting if it tries to give all of it back. That's an obvious area of support. Maybe around 79.50, we'll have a look at it, or 80, about $1 in front of that level.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, good call there. We're out of that Gilead, thank God for that. Okay, Blue Apron just spikes all the way back up here, so we're out of, we have about 30% of our trade left, so interesting to see what's happening with that name as well as we head to go south side there. Okay, AAL still heading southbound. Starbucks a nice little winner. We'll see if we can't take this out at 78 or so. What's up, Brandon?
Yeah, AAL southbound. Look at Delta here, 7% still, just coming back to 26. See if we can hold. 26 was a little resistance just before the open there, but a nice look for Delta, guys. DAL.
Yeah, DAL, AAL as well right now. Lots of things moving. AAL moving against me, but Starbucks right there, a quick little cash register move there because Starbucks taking the downside here as we continue to be short this name. We're short right now 78.70 on this one. Starbucks going downside. Could have a nice little dollar winner here, Neil.
Yeah, and I just caught that CCL, and we're talking about that 1550 level. So on the way back in, when it crossed this little 85, little consolidation there, just a tiny bit. Tried to get back up. I loaded a few more shares back in.
Got
That price is
short
95 here, guys. So that's the other long we're working with. Boeing, I know there's a lot of names to cover here. That 138.50 we talked about, it's basically holding as a bit of a top right now. So I'm going to look for a short on Boeing in front of that 138.50, but it's likely to end up being a reversal to the long side for me. So it's going to be one shot short in front of 138.50, that pivot area that we like, and then we'll reverse to the long side. So need to move up a little bit. The break would be that 135 that we also mentioned. So have those levels in play.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, good level there. AMD, we are short. We take a quick little scalp out. We are short right now 70. This is that level that we like. So let's see if we can't fade this down even further, guys. AMD, obviously, if the futures bounce up here, we're going to be screwed. But we'll wait to see here if that does come through. But right now we have a lot of positions on, guys. Starbucks to the south side. We talked about that one. AAL, unfortunately, we're stuck long here. We're waiting to see what happens down here. Everything else, though, guys, Blue Apron. Here goes AMD. This is a big trade here, guys. AMD to the downside right now, 53.70, and we go. Let's see if we can't cash in. We got a little seller here. We'll see if we can't get out below this. Oh, man, we missed that big flush, though, Neil. Sometimes you got to have orders waiting here. Here we are, though. We are now waiting. Let's see if we can get a flush back down below 53.50 here on AMD.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that Starbucks opening range here, looking at about 78.60 or so. So you get that 78 to 78.60, which is basically the levels we were looking at before. It's right into that pocket. When we exit it in either direction, I'm now bracket on Starbucks. I'm going in regardless of which direction it goes. That was a key in the pre-market. The fact that it's holding it here means breakout potential at those prices. Brendan, what do you got?
Another earnings name here, guys. WW still up 9.6%, but did break that little tiny pre-market support level there, 25.75 through 25.50 on decent volume. Weight Watchers parent earnings were okay, kind of in line with expectations. Sub numbers, though, guys, for Weight Watchers were higher than expected.
Ah, were they? Okay.
Yeah, well, they were trying that whole virtual thing, which is working well for them, but I guess not like you so much now that you're pulling back in about 10% on that little move. I don't have any key levels on that one, but you guys have been asking a bit about Tesla. I'm going to quickly bring that one up for you. Someone was asking about if it broke through 800, you're going to go long. Well, it tried to break, so you already had one failed break on Tesla, which isn't always a bullish sign. 787 is that key level, and it just took it out right now. The last time it took this level out, it failed, came back up a little bit, and then gave you a bigger flush. So I'm looking for a similar thing to happen. I'm jumping into the short in Tesla. You've got to give this to at least 792-ish, so you're probably risking $5 to $10 on this one in case you get a bigger flush. I'd like to get my average price to about 87, 88, so you give it one shot in this range between 90 and 85, and then give it to just below that little VWAP there. CMRX is starting to come back up. That's why we take some profit out. I was very worried about that 185 holding that level, and it's exactly what's happened. So 205 was my stop. I know you could give it to maybe 208. I'm not doing that.
Guys, I know it's been a busy day. Let's just review some of the trades on the spots that I have right now. Okay, AMD has been an absolute monster. It's coming back now, but we just crushed that stock. AMD short, 53.70. Great little look there. Blue Apron's now back up, but we're almost flat of that one. And Starbucks now a 70-cent winner. So we're 3 shorts right now, guys. Let's see if we can't continue to make some money here. AMD, that was the name that we just talked about. Look at these outs, guys. I actually got some out down here. 53.20 as it just crashes. We talked about that crashing, and we layer our orders out there to take some money. So that's a nice one today. It's been a big day so far. Let's see if we can't keep the motivation here and keep going to the south side. AMD, let's see if we can't retest some of these lows. I like this spot that we're in. This is that pre-market low that we are short here. AMD 53.80. Let's see if it can't continue to crash down. Futures, though, battling back. We'll have a look at Google, see if they're holding up well as well.
Yeah, watch out for that CMRX, guys. I took shares off on the way down at that 185 range. We then tried to get back in front of 205. I'm now done with this one. Now, Brennan mentioned 210. I think that's a good level as well. It's not what I'm playing with. I already took it out for my stop. I do have a few positions on, so I'll quickly try to update the position board and work them through for you guys because we have 4 positions on right now. We just took that Tesla. It's basically flat at 786, short side. CCL, that one's trying to get back up to that 16. We got 95. Not a good price. I wanted more shares down at 75. Could not get them. Just got into Boeing on a break there at 138.50. So I'm going to take this off. You saw the Starbucks as well, but we have a new position on that's going to be Boeing on that break. We like 138.50. It just took it out. I got 58s to the long side. Let's see if we can get going on Boeing.
30.73. Yeah, good look there. Boeing is definitely a good look here. As you got to trade stocks that have news and that are moving around. And on that note, let's begin a quick little short here on Uber. So we'll take a short now, 30.70 on Uber, fading back down. This stock has been down as low as 30.30 today. Let's see if these futures want to give some love back here and start heading back to the south side. VWAP right here, 30.77. Hopefully a VWAP video coming your way soon. Look at this one, AMD back down, guys. We gave this one to you. I told you, let's see if it fades back down, and it is. 53.10 was that low. We're still nicely short here, 53.70. Big time trade on this. Look at Starbucks, guys. Our short, 78.70 all the way up here, guys. Short now Starbucks as this one's making its move down. We'll see if we can't make back what we lost initially on this long that we weren't expecting. Starbucks fading back down now as well. Maybe we'll take this off for $1 plus here, guys.
Yeah, I just took some of my Starbucks position off, and Boeing is actually moving dramatically to the upside here. So we do have about a 50-cent when it was just in the money, almost $1. So I'm going to see if we can't take some off on a 39 break. It is slowing down a little bit. That Tesla has not given me my second entry here. Of course, we're giving it to that 92. I'm seeing if we can get more shares in and around 90 before we dig into that position. So Starbucks working. NEO's basically flat. We're looking for that bounce in CCL, which is kind of happening now with the futures. So a 16 take again could mean good things if you're long Carnival Cruise here. A big move to the upside already, looking to continue it as we speak. Boeing hang around that 139 mark, guys. I was going to give this one down into that VWAP 137.50. I think once we've taken that 139, which just happened, I could slap my stop. Not going to do it yet, but definitely in the back of my mind.
AMD, so we did get some of these shares down. The reason why I'm focusing on AMD, we have capital invested on this one, and it's been a big trade. We did get some out there in the 30s. Was wishing that we got a little more out there. We did take our Starbucks out right there. That's a clean $1 there, so explode the money on Starbucks today. Unfortunately, we didn't have as much on as we did this long, and that we got stopped out at the day's low. Not sure what's up with that one, but that was just a bad target by me. My bad on that one. Blue Apron comes all the way back here. We're still short 907. This is a nice little level. We may hammer this again to the short side. Let's just see what it does. See if it takes out this 940 back here. But Blue Apron, wow, that was basically the trade of the day. I have to hit the cowbell for that. Even though right now it's back to flat, we crushed this one all the way down here, 860, 850. Great flush on Blue Apron. We took advantage of that one. I know that was a talk on the chat, so I hope you guys hit that with us as well. Uber, though, Neil, that one's coming to the downside as well. We did take out some nice, again, it's only 7 or 8 pennies. We will see if Uber wants to flush through 30.50 though. More to come on that trade.
Yeah, and also Starbucks getting back into that 78 to 78.60 range. For me, it's going to be a bit of a reload in the middle of that range. If I can get something, I'm looking at about 78.20 to 78.30 again with a 78.60 stop, which I already have in here, guys. So I'm going to have my order sort of locked and loaded, ready to go, just in case you get a spike up. I'll get ticked into that position, hopefully to reload on Starbucks. Carnival tried and failed there, guys. So we try to get to that 16 mark. The market looking like it's trying to roll over. And look at this. It gets down to VWAP here. This is where we got back in. If we take out this 15, it was 1550. Now we're looking at about 1565. Going to be all systems gone on Carnival. This one could be coming in heavily. We got Tesla short, Starbucks short, NEO short, Carnival and Boeing to the long side. Brendan, what do you got?
ACAM, guys, Akamai Technology, 7% to the downside. Day lows look like they are coming shortly here. 94 was a bit of support off the open there. They pulled their full year 2020 forecast. ACAM, not good so far today, guys.
Akamai, yeah, boo.
Yeah, Akamai.
Yeah. Okay, we'll look at them too. Uber to the downside. We're trying to build into this position. I did want to tell you guys we did take more Blue Apron right here a couple times. You're going to see these purple ticks if you guys are new to us. Let me put on this. We didn't do this yesterday, so if you're new today, short sell arrows. So there we go. Look at the bottom of the screen right now, guys. These purple is every time you're going to see a purple mark on either of my charts or Neil's as well. That means that we've gone short. So we borrowed the stock from the broker in hopes that this falls down. That's what we did here. So we sold it here at 890, then we sold it again at 909, and then all of the blues, all of the greens are all buy orders. So we buy the stock back here. So right now I initiate another short spot here on Blue Apron. Look at these futures go up, guys. I got to find a stock to go long.
Yeah, I mean, we just got flushed out of Boeing, so that's going to make me cry. When the market bounces up, Boeing just made a strong move to the downside, oddly enough. I want to get you back to the energy space very, very quickly here. Occidental looking like it's trying to ramp up, but look at this level at 1625. I was looking heavily at Whiting. I think maybe a breakout's going to have to be on this one first at 1625. It is worth noting crude oil made that bounce. I know Brendan was talking about this. You are still seeing the current contract 1550, but just below 20 is the forward contract. That's a big level. Valeria has something for us.
What up, Valeria?
Hello dear viewers, and welcome everyone who just joined our live trading show. We are live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe to our channel and you'll receive notifications when we are back on air. Guys, I know that a lot of traders beginners are watching our show, and we have a great news for you. We are preparing educational series explaining what's VWAP, what's short sale, and many more other relevant stuff. So subscribe and don't miss. And also, we almost reached 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you very much, guys. We are very close. Subscribe for our channel if you haven't yet, and of course hit the thumbs ups. We are trying for you, and hopefully we are being helpful and entertaining. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Thank you very much. Look, we're very excited for that. Thank you guys for getting us to those numbers. I mean, it's been an absolutely fun ride, of course. You can see we have a lot of passion for it. Man who has passion for the news and giving us the key information. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, just watching Disney here, guys. 3% move for Disney so far, holding 109 as a bit of support. If you go back to yesterday, this kind of 110.25 significant level here. We got up there once already. Let's see what happens for Disney. Also, very strong today, guys.
Okay, we got out of our Blue Apron, so that was a mistake there. We averaged into that one and just got out at 925, so that's a mistake here. But we are now into Microsoft as this market just going upside here, so we can't ignore some of these names. To the upside here goes Microsoft. We're going to wait to see on this one. 174.42 right now. It's bouncing up against this 174.50, so we'll wait to see if it can take that out. But right now, we like this Microsoft long, but we need these futures to hold above 2,900. I was saying to the guys, it's funny, the market is actually higher now than it was back in June of 2019. So it's kind of funny to think that, but that is the case right now. So the market doesn't seem to care that everyone's unemployed, but we'll wait to see if this one wants to hold off here. Microsoft 174.40 right now, out of the money, 10 pennies.
Just looking at AMC, I know you guys have been asking a lot about that one. Certainly Brendan mentioning after the halt, it comes down post-halt. Give a bit of a consolidation level here that I'm watching at 525. That's going to be the level for me. So we can see if we can get that one short, though. Going to have to pay for some locates, but inside of this little range is where you want to target in. 505 to 525. That's what I'm looking at right now. Going to have to make sure we get those locates. We still have Carnival, which has not broken that 1565. So I think maybe this could be a little bit better than expected. Like I mentioned, we should need to get our price a little bit better. I have not added. We never got down to that 65 without a good enough bounce. So I'm going to see if we can't dig into some more shares here. 1565 is my out on Carnival. Tesla bouncing around here. So back at that 787, which was the level that we like. If it flushes from there, I think we're going to retest 780 definitely. But it's all about that AMC retrace, which we got to get.
Yeah, AMC. Okay, here goes Microsoft back to the upside there. I was just looking at some downside targets here, and really it needs to get down here at least 173.80 or so before I know that this one's a loser. But Microsoft right back to flat now for us. The problem is that I have AMD short still right here. It's 53.70. So AMD now 20 so pennies in the money. Why can't Microsoft just move like this? That'd be nice. Then we'll get some nice profits off here. But the future's pulling back down. I think we got to take off some AMD. You shouldn't be long Microsoft and short AMD. That doesn't make much sense. Okay, here comes Microsoft to the upside here. 50 is the level there. We take some out. There was big size there. So here we go. Let's see if Microsoft can get going now. At its day high. We are long here. Let's see if we can't make some moves happen. Now 174.50. We just took some out there. That's only a 10 penny winner, but we need some more obviously on this name. Let's see if we can't go higher and higher on Softy. Google with that good report. GOOGL here. Google. Let's see what we're doing here. Still up that 8%. Wow, we get as high as 13.50 before coming back in. Watch out, Google breaking 13.25, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely watch out. It's all about those key levels. It can be overwhelming when there's so many things to trade. I know that's going to be part of the game for you guys. We're getting a bit of a bounce in CCL here. I am net short overall, given the NEO short that we still have on, Starbucks short, and then of course Tesla. I'll get back to NEO. Of course, that was basically our best trade in the morning. Our reload was again in front of the pre-market level, so we didn't take anything until 74, and then I didn't even want to dig in until we tested 380. Like I said, I want to be very, very patient after that initial flush coming so hard back to the upside. Now that it looks like it's trying to turn around off those pre-market levels, this is where I'm going to actually re-enter into this trade here, guys. So we're going to give it to this 385 wall that we had earlier, and that would have been right before the open, and dig back into NEO. So you're playing a bit with house money, but this is our target entry range between 380 and 350 on NEO.
Yeah, we reloaded some Microsoft here. We loaded a little bit more back up here at 18. Let me see if I can zoom this back in for you guys. A little bit of a reload here. We're still waiting for this to fall back down. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but it may just happen. What's up, Brendan?
Just watching Uber. Sean, you mentioned it earlier there. They did come out this morning and say their CTO, technology officer, is leaving. Was the longest running executive at the company still. So he's going to be gone. They also said they may cut or lay off 20% of their overall workforce, guys. But look at this. Uber breaking day highs as we speak.
I mean, the market's going up and Softy's going down. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to regroup on this one.
Yeah, the only thing going up for me, I have one long, and unfortunately for me, 3 short positions. A Tesla, that 92 is going to be our out. That's going to be the stop. This is a move we wanted yesterday that we didn't take, and of course it's a huge one. Just having a quick look at some of the airlines as well. I know you guys have been tracking it at American. I did not want to touch it today. I sort of gave the reasons why. I wanted to retest 1180. It looks like it's sliding back downside now. I think we'll maybe give it a shot if it does test 12 even. So forget about that 1180. I don't think we want to wait that long. If the base is out at 12, that's going to be the level we play. I'm going to take some shares off of CCL in front of 16, given how much resistance we're running into, guys. It just seems like I like this long. I definitely, with too many symbols traded, missed an opportunity to load up down here around 75. I'm not going to sort of look a gift horse in the mouth and waste this money. We're going to take some out in front of 16. If it goes, I think we're retesting the top, but with the market moving up, and my stupid Tesla position got absolutely rejected there, so that's going to be sliding to the downside for us in terms of net. Boeing didn't work out, and then Tesla didn't work out. We had opposing positions, one long, one short, and they both didn't work. So finicky market so far. The best play was, of course, taking that opening trade in something like a NIO, but here goes CCL to the upside. I'm digging in front of 75 again if it gets down there, and we're still looking for a test of the high. The uptrend is not over yet.
So Microsoft right here, Brendan, obviously Microsoft reports, I guess it's today after market or tomorrow morning. Today, yeah. So you can see here, I don't know, this just faded down here. It makes no sense to me. Market's still very strong here, Microsoft, so we did take some out there for a loser. So for now, we're flushing ourselves down, but I think Microsoft should be able to come back strong here. I have no idea what's going on. We'll wait to see if this one takes out the top side on this one. I haven't done anything, but if you are looking, you could trade GBTC over here on the pink sheets. I made one trade today, and it was basically a flat one. We're not doing too much, but those of you that are looking at Bitcoin, GBTC is up 10%, 1.5 million shares volume. Not bad. Shout out to Jeff Mendel there, our friend from OTC Markets. Okay, here comes Microsoft. We're long 174.30. We hold it all the way down here. Should have regrouped, but I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. I may just take this Microsoft out. Not as strong today heading into earnings, guys.
Yeah, and Starbucks about to take up that 78.60 level. So again, it's the same story. I take a short on the breakdown side, and the breakout trade is the one that works. I get bottom wick. I then jump back into the short, and looks like we might give that back You know, we were now short on Starbucks at 78.20. So our initial trade, we're going to have made a nice 60-cent win, and now we're going to lose 40 to 50 if it does break. It hasn't happened yet, but you are seeing some strength in the market here. I only have the one long, unfortunately, in Carnival Cruise and the shorts in NEO, which I have not gotten more shares of yet. We're going to build into that one. I think that's just sort of that retracement type of idea on NEO. I don't know why I'm picking on this stock in particular, except that a lot of times when I thought it would be a little bit stronger, it's tended to sell off on that good news. So I did just get some shares at 80, and we'll try to get a few more here in that target range of 80 to 85. I guess I wasn't aggressive enough trying to get shares on NEO. A lot of times, because it's a cheap stock, I don't want to pay the spread. It might be burning me here in terms of aggression to get into this position.
172, 173. There it is. We just heard the news in our ear. I don't hit the home run. That's natural, but it's for everybody here. 10,000 subscribers now. Thank you so much. There's the confetti. Maybe we should show our production team dancing over there. Good job, guys. Thank you to everybody for helping us get to that 10,000. Soon to come, Valeria signed merchandise. So hopefully that comes through there. You don't want my signature or Neil's probably. But we're just joking around. Thank you so much for the viewers. Great job there, guys, today on that viewership number. We're really happy with that. And big shout out to everybody supporting us. We plan to be doing this for a very long time. So let's keep the boat going on this one. Microsoft, I've really screwed up this one. Again, I'm going to fall in a hole, guys. Sorry. Didn't realize that Microsoft was so weak today in such a strong market. They do report. Thought that might have been a good thing on the back of great cloud news from Google. But again, I think Microsoft reports huge tonight. We're just going to wait to see if it can get going back up. That would be a blessing. I'll probably take a long again if it gets back up here. But right now, that's definitely not what's going down. So we are ready at the big screen now with Brendan for Happening Now.
It is 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here, see how things are shaping up after the first 30 minutes of the day. Nicely higher right across the board here. It's been a while since we've had a 2% day to the upside for the S&P. So a nice look here, 2.2% almost for the S&P 500. The Dow about 2% here. Look at tech stocks leading once again. The NASDAQ 2.5% or more than that to the upside for the NASDAQ. Nice look there. Russell 2.5%. Small caps having a nice day as well, moving higher on the day. The TSX here in Toronto about 2%. We had a lot of the banks moving higher initially, but coming back in. We'll show you some energy companies coming up here in a second. The BOVESPA down in Brazil, like to have a look at that one as well. 1.3% move to the upside for the BOVESPA. Husky Energy reported earnings, guys, that were better than expected. Also an energy name benefiting from the oil bump today, $3.75 up to about $4.10. Needs to hold $4. If it holds $4 there, could get a secondary push to the upside. The next one here, Air Canada. Nice look for AC, 8% to the upside, holding $21.50 there at the open. Got as high as $22.80. Nice consolidation for Air Canada as well. And Baytex Energy, another one here. Just wanted to draw your attention to the volume yesterday versus today. Huge volume behind this move to the upside for BTE. So energy names are higher, moving with crude oil, obviously, providing most of the strength. Some of the banks, though, offsetting this gain so far, guys. We are nicely positive. Back to you.
Day here so far today, not so much for this Microsoft position, but for the market, I'd say for sure, guys. This has been a fantastic day. Thank you for all those likes and subscribes as well. We've talked about that a little bit. Join us every day. We have big time guests coming through. You saw Alex Bowles. Thank you. Shout out that from Neo Exchange, and big names still to come. More and more guests as we go. Brendan doing a fantastic job, as is Valeria. Thank you for the coffee refill there. Okay, we've just been getting out of some of this softy, Neil. This is really the only trade I'm working right now. I do have AMD still to the short side, but that's a very, very light position. Not really worried about that. And as we go, let's just keep hitting these winners.
Yeah, I just keep sitting over here and thinking about that first trade on NEO and why I needed to get back in. I like this 380 to 385. We are digging back into the short. It's the one that's not working, because I can tell you Starbucks is trying to get back down to the bottom end of that target range, that 78 even area. It was 78 to 78.60 is what we identified in the morning there, pre-market. That's the level it looks like it's trying to hold into. If it breaks down, I'll take profit outside of that price range. CCL Carnival, I'm going to continue the same play that I'm working with here to try and improve my lot on this stock. It's just our initial trade was decent, but it didn't get a big move. Then we got back in a little too early at 85. We cashed some shares there at 75, so that's okay. We've been aggressively taking some shares out in front of 16 even, allowing us the opportunity to load up. If we see 15.75 again, that's what we're going to do. We can continue to take shares off in front of 16, but I want to be net long if we get that break. So that's what we're working with in Carnival Cruise. NEO is brushing up towards that 385 mark, guys. So that's going to be our line in the sand. Right now, my price 80. We'll get that to about 82. That is the plan. Only want to risk 4 or 5 cents. Again, you don't want to give it away when you had 10, 15 cent wins there on the way down. Only risking a little bit less than that on the way up. So NEO looks like it could take out 385. I didn't want to be bullish on the name, but 15% and possibly gaining.
Yeah, NEO. Yeah, I was waiting for $4 on that one. I don't know. Okay, $6.30 here on NAT. Yeah, big move down here. We talked about taking this short. I hope you guys took that. I don't know why I didn't get filled there, but we tried to go short here. 675. Shout out to Robert. We were talking yesterday on Twitter, Robert Brown and myself. I hope you're in the chat, and shout out to you, Robert. This would be a trade that you would have taken there. 675 breaking down all the way to 6. You get a nice little 70-cent winner there. You probably don't hold it for all that, but even if you get out some at 640, not bad. I'm looking for NAT to still break here. This is a container company, Nordic American, of course, breaking through $6 here. Could be a decent look there. AMD now coming back to the downside. I'm waiting in the 30s here again, see if we can't get AMD short. Unfortunately, though, guys, once again, another loser for me here as Microsoft breaks down below this 80 level that we didn't like, and we get out there 173.70. So bad, not a great out on that one, but we're going to wait to revisit Microsoft, possibly to the short side. It looks like it's weak today.
So it's not there yet in Gilead. I'm just sort of watching here. 79, of course, yesterday's, sort of not their close price, but right around that level we were working off of. It just bounced off of 80. I said if it gets close to $1, maybe in bases off there, that could be an interesting point for a long. It's not quite there yet. We'll get into that if it does enter our target range. But right now, Brendan has something for us.
Yeah, I was actually just going to mention that Gilead, Neil, all the way back to yesterday's pre-market level there, 80.40, catching a bit of a bid off of that. Was kind of reading through more of that news. Looks like the trial, the 5-day and the 10-day, were basically in line with expectations. So it is positive, definitely. But look at this. We've come all the way back from 87, guys, down to 80.
I'm now lying in the sand here in INO, so not INO, I mean NEO, NIO. Look, if it takes out 385, that's my line in the sand. I've already drawn this one. We're going to give some back here. My average price, you can see 382. My last entry there actually got midpoints, save ourselves a little bit of money there. But again, if it breaks, we're just going to be out of NEO. So it's going to be 1 for 2 on that name. It feels like, and I hate to say this, Valeria, but the short that's working out here is Starbucks. We get that target range 78 to 78.60. When it breaks VWAP below, we're going to sort of layer order, sort of take it out on the way down. If it gets back up into that 60 range, I will try to get back into it. Right now, 78.30 is my average price. So we just took out a decent win again on this name. I do want it to break lower than this 77.50. That was our initial out in the flush. It just couldn't get past there. If we take that out, I'm looking at 77 as an ultimate target. Again, it was a trade that I wanted $1 on, so if we can take more than that, I'll be very happy. Make some of that Tesla money back with that bad short that we had there.
Wow, Spotify, big mover.
Where's that now?
Up there, yeah, Spotify. Let's check that out. We gave that to you at 155 there, but it was too thin here in the pre-market. This is that 155 that we're talking about. If you're lucky enough to hit that break, it's a nice little winner there to the upside for sure. Spot for the win, that's for sure. Okay, let's check back in here. Microsoft 173, so it's still just bouncing around here. I think this is a decent short if we can take out that low, but any other names here? Apple strong. Wow, Apple with a nice little 3% bump. Wow, Apple back to 290. Unbelievable. Tried to take this 288 out today and completely stopped. So Apple right now looking strong, much stronger than the market. Almost 2 times beta today, up to 288.01. If you could take that out, that might be a level on Apple. Let's just check out, see what it looks like on a 3-minute chart. Again, if you're joining us for the first time, maybe you can come over to this camera to my side here and just have a look. So we have a bunch of different things happening here. This is a 1 minute, 3 minute, 12 daily. The futures chart, looking at 4 or 5 different symbols right here as we go, and then some emails, some Twitter and whatnot to get a hold of you guys, and then this main screen that you guys are looking at. So we just don't make these decisions on a whim here. We're looking at different, different levels, different categories. Neil and I, both with 30x years experience here in this market. Wait a second.
Sean, my experience is telling me, and this is maybe not the hard call, but CCL needs to punch through. You just see me continuously, without even getting a reload down here at 15.75. I did not get more shares on that dip, and I'm still taking a bit more of my position off here in front of 16 even. It's just an absolute wall that I'm running into on this long position on CCL. First long worked, second entry, not a good one price-wise. It's been profitable bouncing that 25-cent range, but my goodness, it absolutely has to go. And the market starts to roll over. At least I got 2 shorts on, one of which is working, and that's going to be Starbucks. NEO, I don't know why I trade that bugger. That stock, it feels like I'm going against my gut and using the levels in the opposite direction here, thinking that'll work out, and it did initially on the flush. I should not have gotten greedy dipping back in. We'll see how that one plays out. But Starbucks, now in the money, 70 cents here. I'm just trying to get some shares out in front of 77.50, and we want that flush to 77 even. That's ultimately what we're looking for. Probably should have had this when it fell off of a table, but the level I liked was that pre-market range, so we waited for those levels to be in play.
Okay, guys, we took JP Morgan. Yeah, good little look there. It's never really a good sign when you get in when the market is like absolutely getting destroyed and we maybe got in too late. But here goes JP Morgan breaking through 98. And yeah, here we go, guys. A nice little 20, 30 cents to go on, well, 20 right now. On JP Morgan, we take some out there in the mid 80s. We are now short officially 97.99 here. Short this name, JP Morgan and AMD. Let's see if we can't keep going to the downside here. A quick little 20-cent win here on JP Morgan. We take some out at 80. Let's see if this one can keep falling. We have AMD, guys. I'll put the board on here quickly. It's only 2 positions. AMD short. That's 20 cents in the money. There it is, 53.70. And JP Morgan, we just took that one short as well. I should take some Microsoft short, but I don't believe in that stock today. It's been my arch nemesis. That and Starbucks, unfortunately. But I know, Neil, you have a nice little win there.
Yeah, we finally got some on Starbucks. Just got some more shares out there. And as I take it out again in front of 77.50, of course, at 78.30 was my average price. So it's an 80-cent win there. What I'm going to do is slide my stop into 78 even, and then we're looking for a break toward those lows. And you know what? I'm going to go with a sliding stop here. The market's trying to roll over. I'm going to go ahead and cancel my bids that are in front of 77. I'm going to just sort of manually look for this one to possibly turn. If the market retests to 2,900, we want to hang on to this short. Starbucks is negative on the day. I think there's a good opportunity to just maybe casually slide our stops further down. But right now, average price was 78.30. Last entry 78.44. That's in the money over $1 in Starbucks. NEO, however, is still right back at that 85 level. We're short at 82. Doesn't seem to want to go down. I guess it's going to be strong after that initial flush.
Yeah, here we go, guys. And the worst animation we have. Hopefully we can get some more. I know our guys are super busy.
That one's not bad.
You like the floss one?
That's okay. It's a puke one that I don't like. That one's creepy, man.
But what is happening right now is a catapult because we go arrow down on JP Morgan and bang, this is a trade here. Right now, short $98 even. We just covered some in the 50s. We continue to go down. You know, this is the thing, guys. We've been doing this show for a while now. Banks have been pretty weak. So when the market does fall, my instinct is to go right to JP Morgan. Bang! There it is. Explode the money. A nice little 50, 60, 60-cent win right now on JP Morgan. And we still got 2/3 of this position. So we're riding this in the downside. Let's take some off soon as we expand this down. The low here, 97. We don't need to bump up against that. Let's take some off here. Nice little 70-cent win here on JP Morgan. Let's go.
Oxy just put in a sort of a lower high here, 1640. It got up to 1650, rejected, 1640, a couple of rejects here. And now that 25 is going to put in a bit of a range. You know what that setup looks like for me. It's going to be short in this range with an out at that 1640, not high of the day. So let's see if we can get something in the 30 to 35. Grab that little short. Brendan, what do you got, buddy?
Semis are strong, guys. LSCC earnings name here. Lattice Semiconductor, 14% to the upside. Broke 21 at the open there. We're already above 22. So nice report for Lattice Semiconductor, guys. LSCC, smaller one in the group, but the entire group showing some strength.
Lattice, eh? Okay, we'll look at that.
My goodness, NEO is actually going down. Could both of these shorts work? A, I probably started this position a little bit too early. B, certainly I didn't take enough shares off on our initial winner and had to take some out on the way back up. And this is sort of what I don't love here. You can see all these nice little layers out on the way down in that 75 break. We got some shares out at 58, 59 at the bottom. Fantastic trade. But I can tell you these two exits represent half my position. I should have had way more than half the position out on that initial flush. I was just not quick enough there to take advantage. But now, as we're sliding back down, I will take some off out in front of VWAP. I don't want to get too greedy, but I am looking for it to re-break that 375. I want to make sure I have at least half on when that does break. But NEO finally moving downside. And wow, it's 10:10 already. That means I'm going to take a sip of coffee and watch Brendan do upgrades and downgrades.
Hey guys, yeah, upgrades and downgrades time. We got some home builders, we got some retailers on here. Let's have a look at what is moving around. Juniper Networks, a nice move today. Back to the downside, gapped higher, coming in still to the downside. We'll have a look at that in a second. Parker still holding on to a nice 6+% gain. That's actually higher at this point. Yeah, DR Horton 3.6% to the upside, coming in a little bit as well after a gap higher. But home builders are strong. UPS, we mentioned a little bit yesterday, and Walmart to the downside today. Very weak. A couple of downgrades on Walmart today. Here's Juniper, JNPR, still positive, but look at this opportunity. You get that kind of positive to negative through the open price idea here, all the way back to basically where we were yesterday, 23.80 on JNPR. Great short opportunity there. Walmart just couldn't get out of its own way off of the open today. 126.5 all the way down to 122.5. Huge volume behind this move as well for Walmart. Guys, that's a look at upgrades and downgrades. Back to you.
Giving us that Walmart trade, because that's ridiculous. I'm going to go long Walmart. Right here, guys, 124. This is the level right here, 124.40. We'll see if we can't take that level out here on Walmart. Really, really surprised here that that's what we're dealing with. And yeah, big move down 3.5%. We're going to see here 122, good flush. I like Walmart breaking back above 124.40. But what I do like right now is we're almost out of JP Morgan. Nice trade. Again, now I have 5% of the position out, and we're going to wait to see if this one wants to keep falling down. But JP Morgan, monster siren winner there for me, bringing my day back to life a little bit here. So that's a good trade on JP Morgan, guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw the position board on for you. I have 4 positions on right now, so we're going to give you guys a quick update as to what they are. Just the one long in Carnival. We still have that one at 15.76. It cannot get through 16 even. It's a little bit frustrating here. NEO starting to work to the downside. We got that 382 was our average price there. As we get shares out, you'll see that improve. Occidental, we just started the position at 32. Very, very tight one here. We'll maybe add at 35, 36. It's a 40 stop, so we're not looking for a home run there, just a quick retracement. Starbucks is in the money $1. We still have that 78.44 short. Of course, we've already taken profits on 2/3, and that's in addition to the short that we had earlier that worked out. So that's a short that's going well for me. NEO remains to be seen. The first one was an absolute monster winner, but the second one, not the greatest structure. It does look like it wants to try to roll over. 385 is my hard stop on NEO.
6 spot 85 here will be my relatively hard stop on SDC. We take Smile Direct now. Wow. I'm really glad that I'm long this name in my own account, but I'm long right now at a way worse price. I'm long 5 something. We're up to 7 now on Smile Direct. This stock is going. We talked about it yesterday. Never got going for me yesterday at all. If you go to yesterday's open, we had a big move off the open back all the way to 730 yesterday. So maybe that's where we're going today before fading back in and then really just stalling all afternoon before finally getting going here late. And now you have Smile Direct. Wow, guys, what a big move off this breakthrough 675 once again. That was like a little pre-market high. I guess pre-market high technically 680, but we are now long Smile Direct 712 here, resisting a little bit. We're going to average in, look, if it fades back down below 690 or so, we'll get out. But Smile Direct, look, the move may have happened. We know this name can go up 20, 30%. Let's see if we have a little bit more in this name here today. Smile Direct. We're going to try to average in before 7, see if it holds, and like I said, get out 690 if it does not. Smile Direct.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. You know, as much as this trade is sort of working out for us, we had a key level that was good on that NEO at 385. I don't absolutely love the structure, both on the first trade, like I mentioned, not getting enough shares out at the bottom, but secondarily, it's just, you got to take these shares in your target range, and if you have 80 to 85 as your target, you really want to make sure you get as many shares as possible. So it rubs off this level here. What do I talk about? I say save some bullets or arrows in your quiver for on the way back down. Don't get the full position on the way up. Save yourself some room to add to it on the way back in. Because I had so much trouble on the initial short catching it on the way down, I then jump in front of the level instead of waiting for the turn. So we'll see how that one ends up working out. It is working for us now, of course, in the money on NEO. It's at 77, where our average price now 84s. Oxy might not work out, but again, I'm only risking a small amount in this position. I want to see if we can hold as we're making, hey, look at this little triangle we're forming here. So I can't let 40 go when I look at this setup. We're going to make sure we get some shares here at 36 or 37 or so, and then get out at 40 if it does go. Otherwise, the VWAP retracement play here on Occidental.
We're going to try, VWAP. I have to look at that because right now oil, wow, up 27% the contract, the June contract, I guess. Wow, that's a big move. We are going to try Microsoft once again. It does come all the way down here, 173.50 and bounce. So let's see if Microsoft wants to get going, if this market breaks back above 29.20. Or try Microsoft breaking the high of the day, 174.50. If that does come through, we will try that. Smile Direct breaks back down through 7, so it's okay. I mean, we take another average in here at 02, so our average price right now 07, so we're out of the money. Well, if we take the bid now, 10 pennies. We'll wait to see if Smile Direct can give us a little bit of what we want here to the upside through 7. See, it just bounces right back up there. So this is a little bit of a violent name, needless to say. Needs the volume, 5 million. It has volume today. You see the volume recently picking up here on the screen. So I do like this spot. We're long 707 Smile Direct. Here comes right back. Now we're flat all of a sudden. Let's see if it breaks back above. Take some out 715, and then let's just see how high this thing wants to run. Before I throw to Valeria, let me just check out quickly the day chart here. We do have Smile Direct, like we talked about it here. 711, that's a bunch up spot. 750. So I don't think this thing goes too much past 740, 750, even if it does go, right, Ms. V?
Right, Sean. And hey guys, what a great day. We reached 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for your support. We're trying for you guys, and now we will be able to make a branded Trader TV merch for you. Write in the chat what you would want us to make, maybe a mug or t-shirts with booyah or fruit salad. Write it on the chat. And guys, our new goal to reach 1 million subscribers. So subscribe if you haven't yet, and welcome everyone who just joined us. We are live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. Say hi on the chat and share your trades with us. I'll see you later. Back to traders.
Yeah, join us on Twitter as well.
I like that goal.
As I double check here. Smile Direct back into the money. So I smile, you smile, and Justin Bieber smiles, right, Valeria? That's a good song there, Smile, by Justin Bieber. Yeah, she's loving that song. So there we go. So we'll put that smile up there and see how that goes. But okay, right now, Smile Direct, as I said, I'm waiting for 715 or so. We're long at 707, so it's a 1 penny winner, but we'll move on from that. Still waiting for something to happen here. JP Morgan's been my destruction stock of the day. We still are holding 5% of this one short. See if we can't break 97 to the downside. Nice little move up in the ES though.
And this is that graphic that I told you guys about that's very creepy. It's the puke one. And I said I deserve to lose on that second short in NEO. You know, this is why I take some profit out in front of VWAP there. I only actually had about 35-40% of the position off at VWAP when it got down there. So when it does break, we're going to take a hit on that second short trade. Taking profit mutes the hit a little bit, so you're still going to be up on the day, but ultimately the structure of the trade was a bit bogus. If you take more shares on the way down, all of a sudden that's not much of a hit at all, and you're up a heck of a lot more. So I do like that one. We're getting a bit of a slide in Oxy. I did mention this one. We're just looking to layer out here in front of VWAP, so I'll take some shares out. If it breaks 30, gets like 27, 21, and then all the way down to about 16, 15, or 16, 10. We're only looking to make about 15, 20 cents on a scalp. We're only ever risking 5 pennies, so it's about 3 to 4 to 1 on that kind of a trade. You need direct market access, otherwise no good for you there. But it's already 10:20. Let's go to Brendan for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Just watching the CMRX kind of failing at that 10 level that we were talking about right here, 210 to 215. Looks like it's going to at least test this. We'll see what happens. But if you were involved in this consolidation to the short side, as a couple of us were off of the open, it was very obvious when we got down to 180 down here. There was a lot of support and a lot of buying happening. If you're watching the tape, you know, it was very obvious that buyers were stepping up, lifting offers, and not hitting the bid as you would like to see as if you were short. So a lot of support came in down around 180, 185. That was enough for me to get out of the way and reevaluate. We'll see what happens here at 210, 215 on CMRX. Had to be quick, but did give you a little bit of a scalp there off the open. BCRX, the other one that was up significantly in the pre-market here, just using this 410 area that was a bit of a pivot in the pre-market, gave you another shot at that. This was 4, so working in front of that 410 area. Huge flush all the way down to 340. So that was a great opportunity on BCRX. SNDX, still watching this one, hasn't really done much, but level from yesterday, 19.5. We'll see if we get back up to 19.5 and what happens if we do. Otherwise, no trade there, but that thing did all kinds of volume yesterday, so a little bit disappointing so far today. Guys.
I was asking about Chewy. It's only done about 670,000 shares. I'm not actually seeing the level break that's being talked about here. Ultimately, it is a bit of a downward trend. It's very, very sleepy to me. You're probably talking about taking out 43 and then this further low at 42.80 if that's what it is. Let me know. I don't see anything that's exciting for me. What is exciting, but I just somehow managed to miss it. We'll see what happened here. We're still long on Carnival at 1576. But just missed that little break. It finally took out 16 even and is making another run at the high of day. So we are in the money 30 pennies here. I was looking to maybe add to my position. Now that I've missed that break, I think I'll look for another pullback if it wants to give it to me. But either way, we're still long on that one. The market moving back to the upside for our Starbucks. Yeah, we're still in the money, about 60 cents here, but we did move our trail. So I want to let you guys know that we have moved it to 78. So this recovery could tick us out. We got a little greedy. We said we wanted to see it test 77. It got 20 cents away. We were trying to get that home run trade on the last third of our position. Hasn't failed yet, but it is coming back. In 78, I moved my trailing stop to.
There, Smile Direct finally going there. I see that, Tom Anthony. I need bigger arms. I don't know what that means. Okay, so 7:15 up here. Smile Direct just bouncing around. We're waiting for that one to go. Just to let you guys know, I am looking at it. That's why I hit that Apple sign there, and we'll do it again. If Apple takes out the day's high here, we're going to go long this one. 288.34. Nice little runner on this. Microsoft, we're back into that one now on that day high break. This has been not a good stock for me today. I'm going to tell you that right now. But we do think that we can take out the high. Why do I keep going back? Microsoft has been a top stock for me. That's why, guys. You got to sometimes stick with what you're doing. The futures right now, 29.20, looking to break past that if it goes. I mean, this is a line in the sand right now. It's actually 29.18. So let's see if the futures can go. But Microsoft right now, we're in here at the high of the day. We're also into Apple right now. So my Apple trade gets executed right now. So we need these futures to go. If the market goes, we'll be monstrous right now because we have two of the big guys on. Smile Direct, Microsoft, JP Morgan, and Apple. Let's see if we can't get some money out of this. Let's go.
Watching SNDX, a big mover yesterday. Of course, if you're watching it off of the open, moving from $13.50 at a high of $21. It got back there in the pre-market after a bit of a retracement. Now it's trading below this afternoon top of about $19.70, $19.80. So if it manages to roll over below that price, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to be looking at this short here. I like this if it rolls over and fails to get through this 1930. That's lower than that previous high that I talked about. So this one coming back downside, SNDX, I'm taking this one through 19 if we can catch this one to the short side.
And here we go, guys. The market is taking off. So we are getting elevated once again, guys. Microsoft finally, we're making back a little bit of money here on this play. You can see we go long through 50 here. It's up to 80. Nice little 30-cent win. So let that get that cheers going in the background. Oh, yeah. And Apple upside as well right now. So we take it. We break this down here. As long as the futures can stay above this 29.18, I think we have some bangers for you. So let's see. Here goes Apple. That's 30 cents in the money. Our Microsoft right now, 40 cents in the money and going higher. Smile Direct bounces off that 7.15. So that's my out spot for a little bit of these shares. Let's see, guys. We're hella long everything, and it's working out for us right now. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Paycom, guys, another earnings name here, up more than 10.5%, almost just broke 260. Higher price stock, but obviously moving in the right direction here. 10.5% Paycom earnings were good. They got a whole bunch, and I mean 4 or 5 upgrades and price target increases today for Payc, guys.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I'm going to give you that CCL again, guys. It continues to hold above 16. I think this is going to be a trend that we're going to be able to play Carnival. Moving up with the market, it's going to be VWAP bounces for me until they fail. 15.75 is our price. That's your line in the sand. And with a sort of a VWAP play, I think you don't want to have any stops necessarily at that price. I think you can reload in front of it on a dip down, but I wouldn't put my stop right at VWAP there. And right now that's sitting at 15.86. So like I said, 75 is going to be the out. That's our average price, actually 76. And I'm going to be a buyer if we dip back down. Starbucks, despite that move to the upside, I like this. We're still heading southbound, guys. So we're back in the money. That one just failed to 78. Let's see if we can get back down to that low. This time I will take it off in front of 77 if I can. I'm not going to stare a $1.20 in the money on Starbucks and not take it this time. This time we will grab it if we can get it.
Yeah, we're going to go long. We're going long right now, Walmart. So I just put in the bid there to go long Walmart. Let's see what happens here. We are, of course, now into Walmart. So 124.22 here, breaking this VWAP. I missed it. It was actually at 124.10 or so. So we are off by a little bit here. It's not a huge position that we're off by. So we're going to wait to see. I'm going to give it all the way back down to this breaking point, 123.50 on Walmart. Give this one some room to breathe here. It's been a negative stock. I don't want to dig in too much to stocks that are down on positive days, but we are going to hold that. And look at Microsoft. Here we go. That's why you get the air horn right now. A nice little 50-cent winner right now. Shout out to 50 and M&M as we keep going to the moon here on Microsoft. Cowbell alert here. This is the name that we got hit on early, but we take advantage of this move up here in the market, and now we're big time in the money on Microsoft. A nice little 45-cent win to go with that. Our Walmart fading back in. We're going to average into that one. But yeah, let's take off some of this profit. We don't want to bang our heads against 175 here. Nice little win, 174.50. Here it goes. Just cracks through 175, no problem. So let's take off some shares here and see if we can hold the rest, guys. Microsoft, big win.
I'm watching Weight Watchers with a big bounce. We're sort of mocking that stock as it came off 10% off of the open. It's trying to reclaim some highs here. This one's going to roll over, it looks like to me. Once we get any kind of consolidation, the market's trying to get back to the high. If it fails to do so, we're jumping in some Weight Watchers short. It feels overextended in my opinion here, so we're going to see if we can get into it, but I want us to turn around. I am exposed to the short already in Starbucks, SNDX, and Occidental here. That one's a tight stop at 40, and we're short here at 36. Carnival still above that 16 mark, but it has not broken the high of the day. I think we'll take some out in front of it. I do think there's still an opportunity in Carnival to go further. You're watching RCL here. It doesn't matter which name you want to play. That one's booming to the upside and making fresh highs, so I feel like as much as Carnival might be lagging, if it catches up, we'll have a much bigger winner than we already have on. That's the reason I think you can confidently hang on to your Carnival if you got it.
What's up, Brandon?
About 30 seconds here, guys, or 45 seconds, I should say, before crude oil inventories. Worth noting, part of the move we're seeing in crude today to the upside has to do with the API number that came out after market yesterday, forecasting a smaller than expected build on this number. So we are still expecting here, you can see this number, it's hard to see, but 10.6 million barrel build, which is going to be the fourth week in a row that we've seen multiple millions of barrels on the build side. So about 15 seconds here, we'll get crude oil inventories for you. Obviously, I mean, crude up 26%. There it is, bottom corner of the screen, right on cue there, 26% on the day. So let's see what this number is going to bring us. 10.6 expected comes in, yeah, smaller than expected build, guys. 8.9 million on the build side.
Crude here going,
Yep.
You can see here on our level 2 here, crude CLM20 up 28%, now taking off 1516, 1590. We're about 1570 before that came through. Now it looks like this wants to take off to the upside here. Crude going now, guys, breaking this day high, now up almost 30% crude oil. Good luck if you're long or short. Well, I guess not short, but if you're long Oxy, things like that. I'm going to have a look now. I haven't looked.
Yeah, I didn't even wait for Oxy to take out my stop. I just manually got out on that number. And again, if you're playing with a number like that and you're trading an oil stock, you can have a level that you're working with, but at that point, it's sort of a news play. So you can save yourself a penny or two there. Yeah, my stop was at 40 anyways, but I can just take it out at 39 and then not worry too much about it when we're short at 36, 37. I think that's what you got to do in a situation like that. Responding positively here is the market, and that's going to mean CCL, our Carnival long, starting to try to catch up to what we saw happen in Royal Caribbean. That was on its high. Carnival trying to test that high, and that's 16.17. You will see me take some shares out here in front of it if I can get some for about a 40-cent win, and then we're going to hang on and see if we can take out that high. Never got the pullback to add more shares yet. I still think that can be in play, but we're going to ride this one in the money. It's the only long I have on in the market, and that's going to be on Carnival Cruise, looking to take out the high of the day.
Okay, Carnival Cruise Line's great call there. We are dug into Walmart here. You know what? I thought Walmart was a little bit beat up on some of those downgrades, but we can be wrong on that as well. So we'll wait to see here. Walmart looking to take out this 123.50. We'll get out here if it does fade back in a couple averages. Look, we're not strong on this stock or anything, but it is just one of those names here that I've got to watch out for, especially if these market does fall back down. It didn't really get going there as much as I thought. I thought a break of VWAP would have mean the buyers coming back into play here, but That's okay. Our average price right now, 124.10. So we're only off by 20 pennies here on Walmart. My expected target is much higher than that. So a lot of upside here to go. Look at Microsoft did break through 175, got as high as 175.15. Now before fading back in, we're still a little long on that, but pretty light right now. Our position on Microsoft, 174.53. Our Smile Direct went against us, but bouncing back upside. So we got to wait for Smile Direct, guys. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, shout out to Big Al there. Great position. Of course, longer time frame if you're long on Carnival at $8. Of course, you can see we're day trading here, so there's no way I'm going to have it at $8. It didn't trade anywhere near there. You guys have been asking about CAPR. I am going to have a look at this one. The reason that I have not been involved in this is it already made a massive retracement play, and you can see that flush that happened in the pre-market. So if I don't have that and I'm not involved in that play, I'm looking for a hard rejection, maybe back down even below that $5 mark, to be honest with you, and trading below that. So look, if you missed the boat on the bigger move for your setup, you don't want to just sit there and then FOMO or whatever you want to call it back into another trade just to force the issue. So I'm not going to do that on CAPR. It's been bullish since that initial dip. Great if you had it, but now I need to see it at least consolidate down around $5 or make a harsher move to the downside. So CAPR not on the radar for me for any kind of a short yet.
Okay, here comes Walmart back to the downside. So this is going to be a loser. We should have just gone short this name, but I guess my own bias here on what I think of Walmart eventually coming through here. So we'll get out of this one if it breaks through 123.50. That'll be another flush down on that one. Sorry about that one too, guys. But we'll wait to see if that's coming through. Microsoft, this has been a nice little win here, breaking through 174.50. I hope some of you guys took advantage of that. NAT, Nordic Frontier. Let's just check out what that's doing. I wanted this near 6, not there yet. What's up, Brendan?
Another one here, SHIP, guys, on the NASDAQ. Little tiny penny stock. Look at the buying that's coming into this. Huge volume spike here, up to 18 cents on news. They're teaming up with Glencore to increase their shipping size. So SHIP on the NASDAQ up 6%, guys.
SHIP, yet another name, and I got a million names that we're tracking here, and it's going to be hard to keep track of them. One of them that I want to get to you is, look, Dave & Buster's is making a huge move upside here, and it's been a continuous trade, 14% up, and it really hasn't slowed down at any point. At some point, I mean, I usually try and fade this one, but it's already at 16, which it rejected the last time it got here. It was about 1580 or so, or 1590 or so was that top. This is a big level for Dave & Buster's if it can get through that 16 mark. It could continue that breakout, but up 14% already. I'll probably take a shot if it tries to roll over there. I'll quickly let you guys know the positions that we have on. Going to update the board as we still have Carnival Cruise long. It just cracked 1620, so fresh highs on that. We're long at 1576. Just got taken out on that SNDX trade. We had that one in front of 1930. Our average price was 1910. Only risking about 20-30 cents on that one to try and make a couple of bucks. Starbucks, yes, we're still short at 78.44. If it gets to 77, I will be taking that last third off. So that's what we're working with here. One long, one short. Market trying to test a high.
Yeah, market is trying to test this high. Good call there. We'll get out, see some in the 90s here on Microsoft for a 40-cent winner on that one if it goes here. It's resisted a couple times here at 175 change. So we'll wait to get some out here for 40 cents on that name. If it goes up to 174.90, we'll get out of that. Okay, other than that, guys, Smile Direct and Walmart, the only other names that we have on target right here to see what's going to happen. Walmart, we did average in a little bit down here, but look, we're at that 123.50 spot. I told you that was the breakout names or the breakout spot. So we're going to wait to get out of that one if it does fade back down. Walmart doesn't look like it wants to get going. Good downgrade, whoever downgraded them today, and thanks to Brendan for bringing that to my attention. However, I just should have gone short instead of long. Look, since we got into this position, guys, this is what's happened. It just downticked the whole way, and I've just been averaging in, which is not really a great sign, but I do have it out here, 123.50. Let's see if that breaks. We'll get out, and then we'll regroup on Walmart, guys.
Yeah, I'm just talking in the chat there about an NAT, and we horribly neglected this one. I got to be honest with you guys. It's a name that we love. We crushed it yesterday. It was actually my number 2 stock on the day was NAT, and it had longs and shorts working. It's looking like it wants to make another push to the downside. Watch 620. If that breaks, I'm going to try to trigger into that one. Also going to look to short it around the 640 mark. So a couple of levels we're working with. It's down 15%. It's coming back in. It already tested 6 even once. If it tested again, I think that's what we're going to be looking for, and that break could be in play as well. So big level at 620 first entry, 640 going to be the level we're working in front of. NAT to the short side is what I'm watching.
Okay, Walmart flushes there. We drop about 80% of our position. So once again, fall in that hole on Walmart. I thought that one had a chance, but I guess not. Okay, Microsoft, just to give you guys an update there, we did take those off at 90 like we talked about. So there we go. There's a 40-cent winner on Microsoft. However, that doesn't mean anything when we just took that dollar loss there on Walmart. But hey, that's what you got to do sometimes. Smile Direct still trying to get above this 7. It's been a little bit sleepy since we tried. So I need an alley-oop from this marketplace here and see if we can get going on Smile Direct. We're long at 707, and that's basically the name of the game right now. We're flat on Microsoft, Walmart, SDC. They're all pretty light positions right here, but we did enjoy a decent morning on a few names. I do want to check back on Uber very soon to see what's going on. Wow, look at Twitter. Twitter must report today, tonight or tomorrow. Twitter right now up 7%. This was a Twitter.nq, like charts, load. Twitter.ny, of course, listed on the NYSE. Look at this move for Twitter. I'm not sure, Brendan, if they got upgraded or not, but Twitter today, a nice little move upside. Wow. I don't know if this is on the back of Snapchat's report or not, or if someone's leaked something, but Twitter, huge move today. Let's check Snapchat, what they're doing. What are they up here? Twitter was up 8. Snapchat, that's still Twitter. Like, what? Come on, charts. Snap's the same, 4%. So there are some movements happening here in the market on these social media names, guys.
Yeah, just answering your question. You know what? And I'm just going to do it live here. It's a good question, Chicago. Talking about overnight trades. We day trade here, and that's what we do with Day Trade the World. So obviously we can't do that. So when we trade these accounts, everything Sean and I actually execute is with the idea that we have to be out of the trade by the end of the day. So even if I love a trend, I'm not considering it for an overnight play. Every once in a while, you're certainly going to hear us talk about key levels, and maybe it's a swing trading opportunity basing off of those. So it's not that we don't ever look at it that way. We're just not executing in that fashion here. So just keep that in mind. I'm also letting you guys know here that I am throwing a bit of a trailing stop in here on CCL. Carnival turned around. Look, I got in the money about 60 cents here, 16.35. I should have been thinking about taking it out in front of 16.50, but I'm moving a stop to 16.15. It's been a good long, but I got a little bit greedy earlier. I don't want to do the same thing again today. So trail in here at 16.15, long at 15.76 in Carnival. Brendan, what do you got for us?
We're talking about some of the retailers yesterday being strong. Have a look at Michael's today, guys. Up almost 12% here. Just broke day highs as well on decent volume. They announced they're going to have curbside pickup available at UPS access points. So anywhere you can pick up UPS parcels, you can now get Michael's products if you buy them online. Guys.
That's interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Michael's, that's a name that I've left for dead most of these retail names, so not a surprise there. But look, JP Morgan, I'm going to take this short again if we break down below $98 here on what looks to be obviously a still very, very strong market. We talked about what might happen if we broke above this 29.18 straight to 29.22, so pretty sleepy there. Not much happened. They do resist up here. This is VWAP, so if you look at JP Morgan here, bounces off 98.60 there. This was a great short, my number one trade today. This is my number one stock is JP Morgan today as I look down, but you can see if we do break this level again, I'll take it. This is 98, this is 98.10, 98.11. This isn't horrible if you want to get a little more aggressive. 98.10 on a break. I also don't mind if these futures get going 98.60 to the upside, but I do note that banks have been pretty weak, so I'm not in love with doing anything on those names. But crude oil is off to the races here, guys. So you may want to look at a name. Let's check out Oxy.
Sean, sometimes you got to do what you say. I'm going to pop a wheelie for this one. CCL, I said I didn't get out in front of 16.50 the first time. I'm doing it the second time. I got greedy earlier to 15.76 short. I'm going to be very happy to take off an over 60-cent win on this name. Look, we had a few cracks at this long. It had a lot of trouble getting through. I'm still looking for pullbacks. The market is sort of slowing down here. So now just in a couple of shorts. I talked about Nat. And of course, we have Starbucks as well. But a good long on Carnival Cruise. You really had to wait that one out. It looked like apparently Royal Caribbean, just a bit of a faster mover there. And maybe I should have had that one instead of Carnival. But a win's a win. And the big board is up there. So I know it's time for our sector watch with Brendan.
Hey guys, sector time. Let's have a look at what is happening as far as the S&P 500 is concerned. Right now, 2.28%, to the upside. Lots of positive names right across the board here. I want to focus your attention on this group right here, the energy sector, making up the majority of the strength here today, led by VLO, Apache, Halliburton there, and NOV, all 10+% to the upside today. So Noble as well having a nice day, and Oxy there just about 10%, but not a negative name in the energy group so far. So a nice look for energy stocks. Consumer discretionary names also basically all in positive territory. Hasbro here, the only one to the downside, 4.5% after earnings. Some of the cruise lines having nice days. Norwegian here, RCL and CCL all 13+%. Norwegian about 16% to the upside. Hotels are participating as well, 6%, 7 and 7 for Marriott, MGM, and Wynn as well. So a nice look there for consumer services. Some of the durable goods names also in positive territory. That's where that Hasbro finds itself, 4.8% to the downside. Everything else, though, very positive. Tech stocks are nicely positive as well. We mentioned this one, Akamai, a little bit earlier, AKAM, the only one in negative territory on the software side. ADS, PayC, talked about that, MA, and DXC, all about 10% or more in positive territory. Semis are very strong as well. There was, I don't see it on here now, but there's a little one, LSCC, that was very strong after earnings. AMAD, MU, and there it is, LRCX, 4.5% semis to the upside today. Way over there in the corner, consumer staples and utilities offsetting the gains, but overall, nicely strong here, 2.25% today for the S&P 500. Back over to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I did mention that we got into NAT. It continues to slide to the downside. We caught that 620 break. Yeah, I would have liked to have 640, but that's fine. If it wants to continue to test that 6 even bottom, then we'll be perfectly happy with that. I do want to make sure that we leave ourselves some room on any kind of consolidation. I'll zoom in here for you guys. On any kind of consolidation around that 620 or even in the 615 range. Leave us some room to be able to add to our position if we'd like to. That's what we're going to end up working with here, guys. So just those 2 short positions on, and one of them, remember Starbucks, guys, we still have this one on. Was 78.44. Remember that 78.60 range? It looks like it is marching heavily towards that price, but that was the target area, 78 even to 78.60 the entire time. So you'll want to quickly watch this one. If it wants to fail below 78.60, I guess I'm shorting it again. That's what's going to be the name of the game for me. It's a short until it's wrong. We've already made money several times shorting Starbucks. We're going to try it once again. Still that same 78.60 level that we're working with, Sean.
Yeah, good look there. And XOM, guys, I told you we'd get involved with that, so we go bullish on XOM. We're long now, 47.10 for a nice 11-cent winner here as we continue to go up. We've already taken out about 40% here, 17s, 18s, 19s as we go. Here goes XOM, guys. We are long now. Watch oil out here. Here's the oil chart. We're still making new highs here, 33, 34%. XOM, a nice little 20. Well, it was just 15 cents or so there, winner, but we'll check on XOM in a bit. But we are long 47.11 now on this name. Our Walmart, Microsoft, everything. We're long a bunch of things here. Small though. The only real big position is this XOM, which is fading back a little bit here. We'll see if we can't get some out back in the 20s once again. XOM, a nice little win. And yes, guys, everybody is right. It is fruit salad time now. So if you like fruit salad, we've got the same old arrangement today. We got strawberries, a lot of strawberries in here. We'll see if that can't escalate our trading once again. 47.22 here to the upside on XOM. Nice little 12-cent winner to go. We'll see if we can't get more on this name, though.
Yeah, AMC refuses to roll over. It's taking another shot at the high of the day here. It did halt when it got to this top at 5.53. You're seeing it make another move back to the upside. It's right at 5.45 right now. So 5.55 is the top. It's trying to take it out. I think it's going to be an interesting break. If it fails and rolls over right here, we'll try our hand at a little bit of a short on AMC. The first time it never gave us the entry. The second time it might just do so. 5.55 would be my out and reversal if it is, but now that it's coming back down, we're going to take our first crack at AMC of the day. 30% we are to the upside. Of course, they're in that battle with Universal, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. There was some sort of a rights problem there. Okay, XOM now new highs here on the day, and we have it pretty good down here, 47.11. We are now out of half of our XOM, so we just took some outs there at 24.25. You can see all of our trades below, guys. That's the one thing here that you can't forget about when you're looking at what we're trading. Our ins, our outs, all the profits on some of the names that we've had. It hasn't been an overly profitable day today on some of these names, but we'll look to change that. Yeah, I was. Shout out to Ilya, I guess, there, when we're talking about JP Morgan. Yeah, the short is right here. If you like it at this VWAP, I mean, it's at 98.60 here. You can take that short. You'd be 20 or 30 pennies in the money. For me, though, I wanted to wait until 98 came through, so I'm just going to check a few more charts. Yeah, I mean, 98.30. 98, like 98.10. Again, I'm just looking at a 3-minute chart here where VWAP, we're down here, 98.18, 98.10. I still prefer the short in some of these banks, wondering if the market's a little overheated. We saw it pull back a lot yesterday before, crashing back down into the close. So I do like JP Morgan, unfortunately, to the downside, but it's not until 98, guys. Brendan, what's up?
Another earnings name here, guys. Hasbro, the toy maker, negative on the day, coming back up here to 75. We're right at this 75. It's been a bit of a wall for the past half an hour or so. So HAS down about 3.5%. Earnings weren't good, obviously. Sitting at this 75 level. We'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah, you guys asked about that CAPR, and I gave you the reasons why it was not a short for me on that retracement. Look, it looks like a fantastic opportunity, but now it's again testing this top, and similar to AMC there, once it rolls over shy of that high, and this high here is going to be 702. At that point you can take a shot there. You have a bit of a defined level that you should have a little bit more confidence in. You might be with the momentum. Some of the longs might start taking it off on a bit of a reversal, but until that happens, you got to watch out for those types of shorts. You're well against any kind of momentum that might be in there, guys. So here comes CAPR to that $7 even area. It could still be a breakout there. If it fails, much like AMC, that's going to be the short opportunity. But until it does so, do not touch it to the short side. That's just absolute suicide. I would not be involved in it. NAT, on the other hand, I think that's at least worth a shot here. That's why we've started our position on the short end. It's down. It's been weak for a couple of days now if you count the second half of yesterday, and then of course all morning long. I like this one around 620. I like this one about 640. I think if it goes past 650, you sort of give up the goose there, and that'll be the end of the story. It hasn't broken the trend yet, so I'm going to continue to be shorting on NAT. Starbucks, still have it at 78.44. Have not reloaded, but 78.60 is my kill spot. We've shorted it a couple of times, made some decent money on that one, so we're going to be all over that. The one problem with AMC, and I sort of beat a dead horse here. Anytime a stock is on your watch list or you want to enter a position, you definitely know you're going to trade it. Make sure you ensure that you have some locates if you want to short it. Now, I didn't wait. I waited all the way until I wanted the position to ensure that we had them. I don't have the shares available. We're going to see if we can't get them. I did like the short right here when it started to come down, failing at 550. That would have been an entry for me about that 540 mark. You could have already taken some off for some profit. Now that we've missed that trade, we have to reevaluate and see where our entry is actually going to be on AMC once we get those shares, if they are indeed available. So we're not in AMC. I did just talk about it, so sorry about that, guys. We did want them in that price range, about that 540 mark. We didn't have them available. We'll see if we can't get them to you. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, I just had Nike pop up on a scanner here. Just broke 91, or 91.20, I guess it was, on day highs on decent volume there for Nike. 2.7% on the day. I was just going through the news on Nike. Not a heck of a lot, but obviously relatively strong compared to the overall market, guys.
I remember back in the day when I made some decent money shorting Nike a few months ago. It's been off my radar ever since, to be perfectly honest with you. Only up 2%. Isn't a huge move, but it's a nice trend to the upside if you are watching it. I don't know. I'm going to sleep on this one and not be too involved. I did get the reload. You'll see Starbucks. We just got back into some more shares there. So 78.41 still my price in that target range. We're already up on the stock. I'm only now risking about 20 pennies to that out. If it breaks 78 again, that's where we look to take off some shares. Looks like it's going to be cheap to short AMC, about a couple of cents a share. I'm going to go ahead and pay for those. I got no problem doing that. You always want to keep in mind, if you got to pay for locates on the stock, you got to work that into your risk parameters. If you think you could only make 20 cents on the stock in terms of gross upside on a small cap, then you're not going to pay 10 cents or 5 cents, because if you're wrong 20% of the time, the math isn't going to be favorable for you. With AMC here, I do like that setup. It's only a couple of pennies. I'll take it. Already working once again in shorting Starbucks. Sorry, Valeria. But Starbucks, now the third time we're shorting it, maybe a charm. But I'm not taking anything off until we break 78 even. That's been the play all morning long for me. Otherwise, it's breaking 78.60. I'm sticking with that structure until it is wrong. It has not burned me yet, so we're going to keep going back to the well over and over.
JP Morgan breaks above that VWAP spot there. I'm nor long or short right now in this name. So anybody asking about that one, we're going to stay away from that for now. XOM does come crashing all the way back down to 47. We're still in this name, long 47.11. So maybe it's had its little run here. It's up 5%. Decent move for XOM today off the back of oil. So we are going to have to watch that and see if it can't continue to go north side here. It looks like it's going. We are long 47.11 on this name. And Smile Direct, unfortunately, there. Okay, I guess I got stopped out there. 687. Now it's blasting up. So we have small amount of shares on Smile Direct, but that one did fall back down and we did get out there. I thought my order was going to be somewhere around here, but I guess we get out 687 there. Oh, it was probably a 690 break is probably what we were looking for there. Smile Direct back down and up. So I don't know. I guess I'll just wait to see if it takes out 715. If it does that, then I'll get back in, believe it or not. But we'll wait on Smile Direct here back to the upside. But yeah, that one was once again another fall in the hole. That's 0 for 2. 2 straight days here. Smile Direct has been a difficult trade for me anyways, as it doesn't really move and we think it's going to. But
Sean, I fared no better yesterday, and to be honest with you, as much as it was in play, I'm just trying to stay away from it. It feels like from a trend trade, we've been able to have a read on it, but an intraday, I don't know what it is, day trading Smile Direct. For whatever reason, I just don't have it. I'm going to try AMC here. I'm reevaluating. Yes, I missed the initial trade, but now we paid for the shorts. The problem is I think I can't give it too far past this 540 for at least half my position, and then the rest of it will give the high of the day. I just don't think after missing the initial move and not banking some of that profit, I don't want to get too greedy here. So we're going to jump into AMC, see if we can't get some shares here in the mid 30s. Half of it we'll try to get out of 540. The rest we'll give to the high of the day, looking for that VWAP retracement. I like the fact that despite this bounce, it is failing lower than that high, that halt price of 553.
Okay, yeah, 553 there. AMC, good look. I should be over there as well, having a quick look at that. AMD's been a pretty profitable stock for me today. One of the top ones, actually, to be honest with you. So let's wait and have another look here at AMD. It's just bouncing around this VWAP right here once again. So we could go short AMD here at 54 on a nice little 54 break. That's a 1 minute VWAP move there. The high is 54.55. So let's just wait to see. I mean, this market though, guys, we gave you this level, 29.18, and that's been pretty solid as we'll look to see if we can't take out the top once again. Hold your longs, it appears, guys. The market in rally mode today, to say the least. XOM, we're going to get out of this one as we just got out some for flat there. Doesn't look like it wants to go. Let's take the last out for an 8-penny winner and pass it on to Brennan at the big screen for some Forex Money Talks.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. We'll have a look at some of the major pairs, see what's happening in currency land so far today. You're going to see, again, today is about the third day in a row we've had US dollar weakness kind of helping everything else. I want to start with the CAD here, our Canadian dollar, almost 72 cents rather, up about 0.5%. Obviously helped by the big move up in crude oil today. So that's a big mover as far as everything really against the US dollar, the Canadian dollar higher. Euro is also higher, 0.3%, 108.5. We have the pound back in positive territory as well. This was actually lower to start the session, 123-ish, or 124, I should say, around the start of the day. But back to positive territory. Japanese yen, Swiss franc to the downside. Obviously, more risk going back into equities. So these two are in negative territory. Australia, New Zealand, both positive on the day. I want to talk about Bitcoin here. Yeah, almost 8% to the upside. All week long, we've been watching this kind of 7,300 pivot from way back when, was consolidating above that 7,300 pivot. And then, yeah, big blast off today. Almost 8,500 again for Bitcoin. So a nice look on the chart there for Bitcoin. Ethereum following suit. 210 almost for Ethereum, 6.5%. So cryptos are moving. Everything else pretty muted. Back over to Sean.
Cryptos are definitely moving around here, and I haven't been able to get into really anything today, excuse me, for crypto-wise. But we do have GBTC on the pink sheets, so that's something if you guys are interested in looking at, you could definitely trade that as well. Microsoft upside. I'm just trying to find out some trades here. XOM, we did get out, unfortunately, there at 17, like we talked about, but now it's up to day's high once again as oil making its moves higher and higher and higher. So there's lots to trade here if you're looking at energy names. XOM, WLL. We can take a look at WLL. The bankrupt company that just keeps on going here, up 13% now. Yeah, you know, nothing to really take off. Their volume came right in the open here, and we bounced around. Got down as low low as 17, back to 30s. So right now, WLL not really wetting my whistle too much here. We'll wait to see what it wants to do, though. Breaking back above this 135 level maybe is interesting to me, but as far as it goes, I'm more of an XOM kind of guy.
I'm going to hit case closed for you guys. I haven't used that one maybe ever, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a bit of an accident here, and I'm going to sort of be upset with myself as I want to take a bathroom break. Instead of covering some of my Starbucks at VWAP, like I mentioned, and hold the rest for 77, I end up covering all of it. So look, I'm still going to reload this position if I get anything in that 78, 20 to 40 range that we liked. And there goes AMC to the downside. So that is working out for us. We'll pop another wheelie for that one. I'm liking this one, even though I don't ride. I know someone who does like cars and does love, I think you do like motorcycles too. Brendan, is that true?
Sure, why not? Yeah, especially Harley Davidsons. Let's have a look at iRobot here real quick, down 5%, guys. Another name that reported aftermarket yesterday, 61 and a bit, all the way down to 55. So we're back to 58 here, a bit of a pivot from the pre-market for iRobot. Earnings not good, obviously. A lot of competition in this space. They make those Roomba vacuums, but a lot of competition now for IRBT, guys.
Okay,
thank you very much, guys. Very, very excited. And it's a good trade here on AMC, but I didn't get this until 5:34, and I gave this one to you right here on this wick down, trying to get it between 40 and 45. So you give away 10 cents of the move. Why? Because I wasn't prepared and had not gotten my locates right away. That's something that I could have done the second this popped up to us on this halt. That was at 9:34. No reason not to inquire into it. I know at some point I might be looking for a short. Here it is, that VWAP retracement. We've already taken half out here, some at 22 and then some at 18. So you get a 12-cent, 16-cent win. You're looking for that winner all the way back down to about 510. Hang on to some for a bigger flush. It is up 26%. It could go further, but I just love that setup. It's one of those retracements. To me, that's a pretty easy, once it fails lower, you get that big wick down where some people do some profit taking. Know who you're trading against. When you have these day traders that are sitting here looking for the home run long, when it rejects and fails to break through the high, yeah, they're going to take some shares off, and you want to take advantage of that if you can.
Okay, yeah, good call there. Blue Apron, just looking at this one here, we did come crashing back down. We took a little short here, breaking through 990 on this little wick, and then before it bounces right back up. So let's wait to see what Blue Apron wants to do here. Not 100% sure, obviously, as this continues to fall. 990, I can't believe it went all the way to 1050. Our initial short was through $9. So I think I have a decent spot here, but it's 986 we are short. So it's not fantastic. We are out of the money. Well, here it comes back down. It did go back up against us about 15 pennies or so. Blue Apron, guys, a $10 name, but you have a spread here of 10 pennies sometimes. So we're going to wait to see what Blue Apron wants to do. Look, if you want to take back 1050 there, that's great, but I just don't think there's much in this name anymore. Anybody short squeezed, probably sold out today off some of that move. You can see Blue Apron here. If you're first looking at this stock, it got going nuts here. It was $2-3 there, and then everybody's sitting at home, so they think, okay, more people are going to be ordering these meal kits and whatnot. Blue Apron goes, believe it or not, guys, high as $29 there. This thing's been reverse split a couple times, so we're going to wait to see what it does here. I do like this number down here, 830. I don't know if we get there yet again today, but we're bouncing off 10, so I'm back into this short. Maybe a mistake, but there is some room to the downside for sure. I think we can even get back to VWAP here, 950, but again, I'm not going to hold too much more than 1020 because I don't want to be wrong all the way to 1050, guys.
Yeah, I'm sliding my stop on AMC to about break even there for the rest of our shares, but I'll get you back to that NAT. I did take some profit off in the initial flush. It got to that 610 mark. I took some out there. I was looking for a reload in and around this 620 price, but I would have liked to see it test 6 even. The fact that it's actually putting in right now a bit of a double bottom 610, that's a higher low. So I'm not going to be reloading at 620 because of that, but I'm still going to hang on to the shares that we do have. We'll give it to this level here. The previous 625 area is going to be a good out for me. But it is time, it's 11 o'clock, it's time for our European update. Let's go to Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome to European Update. Europe is in positive territory today, though Switzerland is down 0.47%. Britain is up 2.54%. Germany is up 2.17%. France is up 1.7%. Spain is up 2.39% and Russia is up 1.83%. Some quick news from Europe. British Airways plans to cut 12,000 of workers due to pandemic. France plans to allow people with masks travel freely starting on May 11th. Germany, on the opposite, again extended warnings against global travels through June 14th. British startups raised 34% in comparison with the last year. That's because investors are injecting more money into startups, so they are surviving the pandemic. Russian health officials announced that country is nearing 100,000 of coronavirus cases. That's all for today, and I'll keep you updated. Back to guys.
All right. Today, guys, Mies Schneider from Market Gauge coming on. So very, very great guest there. We're really happy to have her on board and see what she has to say about some of these moves happening right now in the market. Mies Schneider from Market Gauge. Check our Twitter, check everything. You'll be able to find out who she is and what she's doing coming on our show. So Mies Schneider has been a great guest before and will be coming on at 11:50 with Brendan. So anything long-term kind of trades, things like that, she's all over that. So Market Gauge, we'll be tweeting that out as well. Hopefully soon, I'll let you know what she's all about. But thank you to Mies Schneider coming through soon today. Our blue apron, we may get stopped out here at 10:15. We're going to see as this one just wants to go up, I guess, guys.
Yeah, someone was asking about Abbott there, ABT. That's a name that, I'll be honest with you, I have not looked at Abbott. I'm going to have to add it back to my position board, not my position board, my quote board here. And again, I have a million names. Look, I'm not seeing a gigantic amount of movement. I mean, you're seeing a stock that is only up 0.5% and is ranging at VWAP right now. I mean, if you're in position and you're asking for a look, all I would simply say is, with the market on the highs right now, and that's what we saw happen in Gilead, if this one rolls over past 91.60 or 91.70, it can't even retest the highs when the market's up at the top here on the ES. So, I'd watch out here. I mean, forget about it. If it takes out 71.69, as long I'd be getting out of it, especially if you have it and you're in profit. That's also going to be a positive to negative story. So you have a couple of things working against you. 91.50 was the close, so that price is important for a couple of reasons. Not on my radar at all, however, Abbott Labs.
Abbott Labs, yeah, I mean that's all that testing and everything. So okay, look at Blue Apron, guys. It looks like it's going to go up here, and then we'll get stopped out. We did have a banger off the open here, but since then it seems like it's been doing nothing here. So that's going to be a loser on Blue Apron if it does break back above, and there it goes. Wow, it rockets up there through 20s there. Like I said, look at the spread, guys, 6-7 pennies. So Blue Apron off to the races to the upside now. Hopefully you guys aren't caught short like I am. I guess we'll have to wait now to see what happens around this 1040 level on Blue Apron, but it hasn't been a good one for us today. Needless to say, guys, that name just keeps going upside. I can't believe it. We were down quite a bit off the open here. We touched that 830 magical mark before falling back down. So we're going to have to wait to see on Blue Apron, but so far right now, it's been a pretty big flush out for anybody that's trying to short this one. Blue Apron, not a good one for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that, to be perfectly honest, I just dodged a bullet. I was looking to short Blue Apron as well. When I missed the initial flush, I did not take it. It's getting a little bit parabolic at this point. Another one that was parabolic and came in is that CAPR. And look, I sort of mentioned that I was only going to short it if it failed at 7. It then broke 7 even, but now you have a failed break happening here. So I think anybody that was bullish on this stock is considering what they're going to do. And like, they could be profitable from yesterday, or they could have picked this one up when it bounced off 4. So maybe 5 even in this consolidation is where they're long. If that's the case, they're probably asking themselves, if we take out this 620 to 6 even area, what am I going to do? If it consolidates above that, I think I'd like to use that 7 level again. Work a short. I think once it flushes through 6, you'll get some extra juice to it. So for me, it wasn't a short before, but now if we can get a hold below that 7 even, I'm going to look at CAPR for a short trade. Brennan, what do you got?
Just watching GM here, guys, still up significantly on the day, having a really nice day. In fact, 8+% for GM. But a little story out there, just pass it along. Federal investigators going to look into GM possibly for the UAW probe. So there was a big sell order that came in right when that news broke, but 24 even seems to be holding here for GM, guys.
And here comes NAT. Of course, we hung on to that short. We did take a little bit out, and I mentioned that I wasn't going to reload. That was probably a mistake, but we are short at 617. It feels like, my read in terms of where I want to get more aggressive and where I want to take profits, even though the calls may be good, execution matters too. So we left some on the table on NEO with the way that we got out of it on that one. We definitely left some on the table, not reloading here in NAT. But if it breaks 6 even, this was that bottom on the opening flush. Look out below. I'm adding to my position if we can on that break, but it is SSR. down 18%, short sell restricted. That means we'll try the break. No guarantee we can get those shares without a bit of an uptick, but I want to see it take out 6 before I get more shares. We're short here at 17. We're in the money. We've already taken some profit out. Playing with house money was great for us yesterday as well. Let's watch 6 even break on NAT. Hope you guys got this one with us.
Yeah, I was looking for 16 even, so we're going to wait to see on that one. Hopefully that comes, and I'm going to short it as well. Obviously, I'll be late to that party, but we'll wait to see on that one. Yeah, so far today, guys, Blue Apron has sort of been the story for me. Big wins off the open, and then another short we got out there. That's a small hit. But this one here, 985, I did think we were retracing back, so we did get some out. We're still holding on a little bit here. We're short 993 right now, so it's 30 cents out. Not great on a $10 name, but I still think it has some chances to get back lower here. We did take off a little bit there on that 10-15 break, like we talked about. That's out at 10-16, so now we'll hold the rest. I still got 2/3 of this one. Not loving it, but I still do have it, so we got to tell you guys about that one. Other than that, not much else going on here. Walmart here, a nice little bump back up. We still have a small position on that one. Maybe taking out 123.70 could be a good move here, but maybe I should learn my lesson. Walmart was a short when I was going long on that one, so again, another fall in the hole on Walmart today. Microsoft's been a good one for me, although we missed it off the open. We hammered it back right here, 173.50. It looks like we're right at that level again. If the futures want to go, I'm not going to be taking any longs again until we break through 29.25 on the futures, guys. I think that's a good possibility here to break that through, and then even the high of the day, 29.26. So I mean, we do one, we'll probably do the other, and then we'll go long on Softy, which will be again a 174.60 or so area.
Back into some weakness here in INO. I'm just watching it try to flush through this level down here. It was a bit of a pivot earlier, 13.25. So if it breaks that, I'll try to get some shares. Otherwise, I'm looking to catch some in this little consolidation between 30 and VWAP. It was a great trade yesterday. I think we'll initiate a position on a 13.25 break. We want to leave ourselves some room, however. I think sometimes I don't have a longer term aspect on this trade. I know it was another one of these. I think it was a IBIO yesterday that we hung on to in the afternoon. You just had to wait that one out. I think INO sometimes can be the same thing, so I want to leave some arrows in the quiver to make sure we can get some shares in front of 13.50 as well, if that's going to be the case. NAT has not broken 6 even yet, so it's still in the money, but it has not given us the break to try to add into that position. Of course, it is short sell restricted, so that could be a bit of a trouble. AMC, we're still short at 534. That's still in the money, about 15 pennies, looking for a flush to 5 even. Brennan, what's up?
Guys, have a look at some of the car rental names here. This is Avis Budget on its way back down in a hurry. Look at the volume coming in. Some rumors floating around, haven't confirmed anything yet, but some rumors floating around that Hertz may be considering bankruptcy. So car here leading the way to the downside on huge volume, guys.
Oh, Hertz, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised people are still renting cars, obviously, with this kind of a situation. I don't see many people taking vacations and or renting too many cars. So that makes... Halted, okay, so that makes sense. It's HTZ, isn't it? Yeah. HTZ, okay, so let's look at that right here. It is halted. So Brendan brings you the news before the halt, and there it goes. Halted right now. You see it halted before 480, and then we get another halt right now, but Hertz, I guess, to the downside. Good look on that one. We will have a look at that as we go. But right now, more Valeria all the time in focus on the screen. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Some quick news updates in case you've missed. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a 12-step plan to reopen some parts of state following CDC guidelines. If the number of infections will continue to fall, Cuomo says that some parts of the state will meet guidelines by May 15th, but not New York City. Advertising company Omnicom saw shares up 3% on Tuesday morning after company reported Q1 earnings results. Company also said that some spheres, including travel, entertainment, and energy, have been hit more immediately than others and already postponed or canceled their advertisement plans. TripAdvisor announced that it's going to lay off 900 of workers as coronavirus is continue to hammering the travel industry. Company so far laid off 200 of workers earlier this year. Coca-Cola says that its Minute Maid and Simply Orange are seeing higher sales. For the past 8 weeks ended on April 18, orange juice sales grew 33% in comparison with a year ago. PepsiCo also says that sales of its Quaker Oats also grew as more people breakfast at home. That's all for today. Stay healthy and stay in focus. Back to guys.
And you know what, Neil? Honestly, thank you, Valeria, for that. But I want to swear, but we're not really allowed to on the show. But who cares? No, this joke, I'm not going to do it. Look at this, guys. Look at apron now, guys. Holy
Where is it now?
Nikes back down to 9. I mean, I just said this is possibly where we had to go, 955, 960. Maybe down here we do get stopped out a little bit at 1015, but we still have it on board. So right now we turn that frown upside down and put it with an evil laugh right now, because we get some out here at 996, then some out at 81. I do have a bid. Where's my bid? 66 down here, right near this little breakdown point. So I do have some bids down here. We are short again, 96 now. So that was a nice little, I don't know what it was, 15 penny winner or so. We're almost back to flat on Blue Apron. Let's wait to see. Again, we took some out there on that move. I wish that we would have averaged in instead, but Blue Apron.
Sean, Hertz is back open here. And it's making a march up to $4 here. 350 was the bottom. It had some trouble getting through. I think I like this one as I sort of say it instead of not take it. I'm going to give it one shot here for a long retrace trade. And again, the previous whole price is $3.95, so very tight stop. If it breaks that, I'm just going to get immediately out. I don't want to get caught in this. I just think there's a lot of room to come back in if this is in fact the end of the play here. But you don't want to have too much of a I don't know. I'm not gonna let this one go too far against me. It's a very, very tight stop, and it's just using that halt price for me, which I like as a bit of an exit. I end up getting 412 there instead of 4 even. So I'm risking a little bit more than I would like, but it's already going in the money for me. And a target's going to be around this 440 to 450 range. So tight stop downside, but you don't even want it to get all the way back to that previous halt. This is a scalp type trade that you're doing if you have direct market access. If you don't, or your fees are too high, I don't know it's a trade you want to make. I don't love counter trend when you have a name this week. We'll start taking some shares off here on that quick little scalp. 412. I'd love to see 440, 450. You can hang on to 20% for a bigger move, but I'm not going to bet too heavily on a long when they're getting crushed. Just want to play off that halt level and see if we can't take advantage.
Yeah, Twitter, JP Morgan. Wow, Twitter just keeps on going upside as well. Wow. Q's now going. And look at this, guys. Once again, boom, the market's green, and so is Softy here.
Yeah, and Hertz just halted again, guys. So thankfully, I took half of this one out for the scalp trade and only making about 20 cents or so. That's going to soften the blow if we're not headed, not done heading southbound here. But we halted one time at 395. That was where my stop was going to be. I'm going to cancel that because I want to reassess this one in 5 minutes. If it comes back, if we open above 450, I'll probably take some shares off there and see if it can't run higher. Of course, line in the sand is at 477 upside. I'm never hoping for more than that if I'm doing a short duration trade. The goal of this trade was to be in and out in the 1 minute. To be honest with you, when you're making that kind of a trade. So the fact that we halted in my favor, while good, wasn't necessarily the plan. That's why we took some of this trade off on the way up. And again, I didn't even get the price that I wanted. I was trying to get something like 402, 405, ended up with 412s. You don't want to give away 5-10 cents of your profit when you're looking for 30-40 cents of a win on an in and out in 30-40 seconds.
Yeah, no, good look there on Hertz, and yeah, I should have been on that as well. Good look on that one. Okay, tech is moving around as well today, TECK. We can talk about that one. Everybody knows this. We talked about that the other day. Tech Resources, once again, another big mover. Looking at this high of the day right now, 880, 882, or sort of take that out. That could be a good little win for you guys as well. Microsoft, just to let you guys know, this is basically now, we're getting close to that high of the day. We still are long. I mean, if you see our positions here, we still are long that name here. You know, let's throw up our positions. If you're joining us for the first time, we do have our positions flashing around the bottom, but I do have a few here, and it's Blue Apron short 995. We took some out at 85 there, but this has been a sort of a sketchy play for me. Microsoft long still 174.53. That, as I can see, is a 50-cent winner, so that's a nice one. And Walmart is a 50-cent loser. We're still holding on to small on this one, but we did lose on Walmart. They got that double downgrade. I thought it was a good opportunity to go long, but no, Walmart fades back down and gets faded for me. So here you go, Microsoft. I'll probably take off the rest if we do break above 175 here. The future is just dancing around, Neil.
Yeah, and guys are asking about Starbucks. Of course, like I mentioned, I did accidentally get out of all of it instead of holding on to that 77. This is the flush you're looking for, and ultimately, this was the move here right around VWAP. I should not have taken it all out, but then I could have actually gotten back in, not quite at the same price or where I got back out, but it still would have been a good one. Someone's asking if you should go long. If and only if, here's that level, that higher low, 77.20. We bounce off that price, retake this level at about 77.50. The market's on its high. I don't like that break in case the market rolls over here in the ES at 79.25 and cannot take out the high. So I need to see us take out the high of the day in the futures, hold 77.20 to 77.50 as an area on Starbucks. Otherwise, it's still a bit of weak stock for me. You still have that level at 78.60, which could not break all morning long 1, 2, 3 times. That's the level I was shorting in front of. So even if you take a long, you're running into resistance at that price, which from here is good. You get about $1.40, but I think you're not confident until you get to, up to about 77.60 to 77.80. So at that point, you're risking 40, 50 cents to make 80 and in the direction opposite of the trend. So I don't love that trade long. It doesn't mean it can bottom out here, but that's just my thoughts.
NAT bouncing back upside here. Were you able to get out at 6?
I took some out and then I held the rest for a 6 even break. It did not break that. I still have my stop at 625, so if that goes, I'll be out. But I always wait for it to roll over here. If I'd be in here at 620 if I was waiting on the offer, but once it turns around in front of my stop, I want to catch it on the way back in, so that's what I'm going to do here. But still have a stop here at 625 to get out of it. It has not broken it yet.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to look at it because I was expecting it to break that 6, and I never got to fill there, so I want to check back in on that one. Okay, Blue Apron, Microsoft, the only 2 positions we have on. Oh, I did want to bring you guys to this attention there. I did dump that Walmart. Screw this. We are going to now try to go short here on this 123 break. It looks like that may come through. Look, market ripping up here. Walmart just going southbound like hard. So I think what's happened here, guys, is a lot of profit taking. Walmart's been such a beast here, just heading new highs. I think we got 130 not too long ago on Walmart. Let's check the day. Yeah, look at this, guys. 133. So we're banging up here. Now, I think this is way overdone, but I mean, we can't fault price action. What's happening today is happening, but like 128 down to 123. I have some money lying around in my investment account, so I think I'll be picking up some Walmart after this because that's just such a huge move down for such a behemoth company. I am debating going long off of this 123 level, but I'd rather try the short first. If we can break through this 123 even, we'll take the short, and then this wick down is 122.50. Hopefully we can get that, and then we'll see what happens. But here it comes, Walmart. Look, and I have a stop, there it goes. So I have a stop order in, and now there we go. We are short at 95 here on Walmart, so there we go. Look, see, my hands weren't being used there. We did have a stop order. Here's a little description of what a stop order is. To sell, we put an order in. As soon as our limit is reached, it goes down, and I put out a little bit of an aggressive order, but not too much. We get short 122.95 on a 123 break. So it's not really slippage when that's your order, but 5 cents, I'll take it. Let's see what Walmart wants to do now to the downside. 122.95.
Yeah, Sean, Hertz just reopened there, and there was a big bid at 30, showing some support. I was long at 412. I see it start to get taken out, so I just get out of my position as it's getting taken out, and I feel like I'm going to be the sucker here because it bounces off of that level. Fills somebody for well over 100,000 shares and then runs to the upside. So that was my exit. I didn't want it to retest that level. It was a position I didn't intend on holding more than a minute on a quick little snap up. I wanted it to be a scalp trade. That's what it's going to end up being there. It's a winning trade, but it looks like it might get to that target had it not been jiggled out of it. So a win's a win, but maybe got suckered on Hertz there, as that could go all the way to that 477 mark, or the initial halt price that we were looking at earlier.
Yeah, I mean, playing off halts is very, very difficult. Okay, 123, Walmart comes back up. No surprise there. I haven't traded this one well. But you're going to see here, unfortunately, these wicks are back here at 128, so it's going to make the chart look ridiculous until I have a second to edit them. But 123 breaking here on Walmart. So that's this little purple arrow you're going to see here. That's a downward move. So we are short now. We've borrowed the stock. We've sold it at 122.95. Let's see what happens. I'm going to give it back up here. Not too long, basically till about this level, 123.35. I will take about a 40-cent hit on this one. I'm not, like I said, I think this is well overdone. I just had to play the 123 break, and we're only going to give it 40 cents because, again, our target on the out is something like here, 122.50, 122.60. So that'll be a good one. But Neil, Blue Apron finally coming back down. So from going from the gates of hell back down, we'll see if we can flush Blue Apron down the toilet here. I do have some bids. Where are my bids at? 966. Oh yeah, we talked about that before. Here's 966 right here. It touched down to 975. We'll see if it breaks lower, and then we'll take some out. Fingers crossed on Blue Apron, but Brendan has another name.
Chef's Warehouse here, guys. Haven't mentioned this one for a couple of weeks, I guess. 22.5% after their first annual report 2 days ago was better than expected. So this is one of those home food delivery names, Chef's Warehouse. 22% today, guys.
Yeah, of course. Delivery name. What is
someone's asking there about a Caper, CAPR again. For me, because it's still in that range-bound trade that I don't necessarily love, the short seems like it could be in play. And I talked about people were looking to take profits where they might do so. At this point, I think you got to be shorting in front of that 7 even. So I'd want a price above 650. Unfortunately, that's not going to give it to you here. You're waiting for a breakdown of $6, or you're waiting to get a better entry price from a risk standpoint. Trading it in the middle, I just do not like the risk to reward at that point. You're talking about shorting it at 625 and giving it 50 to 70 cents. You know, what kind of a move are you looking for at that point? You got to be right like 90% of the time for that to work out for you. So wait for the better price, or look for that breakdown of 6 even, where you can use the momentum in your favor to scalp some out of that. So that's what I'm working with on Caper. I think you can maybe start that one in the 660 to 675 range. That's a little more reasonable if you want to try your hand at the short. Up 170%, lots of room to come back in. Just be patient. Your counter trend here, you don't have to rush the trade.
How come I go short here and then the market decides to go up? Okay, we did take some more 123s there on Walmart, so our average price is 123.02 there. So as you guys can see, we did dig in a little bit more. Again, I have to get rid of these wicks, but you can see here 123 and change. We did take another short, so we shorted 95s, and then we took 23s there. So right now our average price back to 02. So still not great, but not as bad now as it was. Let's see if this market can fall, and we'll see if Walmart goes to the south side as well. Okay, there it is. There's the out on Blue Apron. So once again, guys, this is a 30-penny winner. So we have the chicken dinner back in play again here, guys. Blue Apron short here, 85s on that initial break. Then we averaged in at 10.06. Unfortunately, we got out of half about right there. Now we're coming to the fall down spot. I gave you that 966, and there it is. A nice little banger there. So we hit swish, swish finally on Blue Apron. Let's hope the same fate can happen here for our Walmart. What's up, Brendan?
A couple of big spikes here on COTY. COTY now down 1.75%. You can see this volume spike here to the upside. We just kind of broke through 570. There's a huge bid sitting there. You can see the little volume spike all the way down to 555. No significant news on this. There was some coronavirus related news, but interesting trading on COTY today, guys.
Cody.
So I reloaded here in NAT, and it's going to take another shot at that 6 even mark. I know we're all watching this one. Of course, that was the bottom on that opening flush, $1 move it had. So I get these shares first time at 20, second time here at about 17. Look, we're going to take some out in front and not get too greedy. If we can keep sort of scalping that trade off in front of 6 even. When it goes, like I said earlier, we're going to hang on for a bigger move, but we want to see if we can add on that break. And it's short sell restricted. That does mean we're not guaranteed to get a fill. That's why we're shorting pops as well. But I'm not going to give this one to VWAP. I think earlier you would have given it to 650. At this point, you don't let 625 go. You're already in the money on this trade if you've been shorting anywhere here, unless you've been shorting the bottom only, shorting pullbacks, I mean. So we'll be patient with NAT. We're already in position. We already took some profit. That 6 even break looks like it should be good. Even if it happens at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, keep your eye on NAT. So good the last 2 days.
Yeah, I was still waiting for that level, so good look on that one there, Neil. Blue Apron here, back down into the 60s once again, so a nice little runner here. We did get up to 70 there. We're going to see if we can't hold this all the way. We're going to get out some at 60 here because there is a decent bid. Maybe I should actually put some at 62, 63. If this 60 breaks, then I do think, guys, we come right back to VWAP, which, by the way, we called that when we were up here back to VWAP. I just didn't want this to happen, so we do get out of half. Should have averaged into more there, but Blue Apron, the name that's going right here. And we are still stuck on Walmart. Like I said, we'll give it probably 123.50, 123.40 or so. So it's a kind of a short trade here. Hoping. I mean, look, I'm in a forever bull, and the market ripping up here. We did give you this long off 29.18. That's been cash money. Look at this. Retest here. Boom. Retest here. Retest here. Now to the upside. So 29.18. If you're trading futures, I'll often call out some of these levels. So there you go. That's a good one on the S&P 500. But there goes Blue Apron. We do get our 60s 60s there out. No, sorry, yeah, 60 out before ripping back up. So let's just wait to see. We've got this one. This is a 40 penny winner right now. So we hit the confetti for that one. Thank you to everybody today, guys. I mean, it's been a fantastic day. Neil trading some of these smaller names there, CAPR, NAT. I've been on Blue Apron, Microsoft, Starbucks, Smile Direct. We'll check out that one in a bit as well. And some of the crypto news here. Some of the crypto news, of course, there's a Bitcoin halving happening soon. So that's probably a minor incentive here for some of these guys. So the more mining that gets going here on crypto, probably that's what the situation is on that one. Most of the crypto names up about 10% now. Brendan, give us something.
Just watching the energy group here, guys. SM Energy, if you like the little ones, this one having a huge day, 46%. They reported, obviously, oil helping in this case as well. Huge volume on this name, just broke 250 recently on decent volume. So SM Energy still moving, guys.
And I'm looking back at that CAPR, guys. If we retake this 675, so it's trying to get to that area. Look, I love these on the way back in. Certainly you can jump in front and you have that 7 stop. You're not stopped out yet. But the other way that you can take these trades, which you'll see me favor, is that it goes up through that price, and when it retakes 75, I'm now with the momentum, possibly coming back down. And a few people that have longed it in front of 6 even are probably going to look to take some shares off. So this is the first time that we're going to be in CAPR. We just grabbed it here at 674. That's sort of on the way back in. So we've allowed it to try to get up to 7. Once it fails, I've jumped in this trade. 7 even is going to be my out here. I could add to it, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go with the shares that we have, risking about 25 to 40 cents, depending on slippage, trying to get a VWAP or trace. We'll take some out in front of 6 even, and then we'll try to get the rest out if it gets down to that price. So lots of potential here. At least, I think, 50 cents on the first end, and the second end, maybe we can get a buck out of CAPR.
Yeah, Caper, good name there, like a nice little one. Yeah, and guys, we're trading it all here. So yeah, keep putting the names in the chat and we'll get to them. I mean, I see Frontier here, NAT, and we talked about that a lot, guys. So those of you guys asking about it, Neil is short here. I think it's a good call. Obviously, if you break above 620, that'll be out, but watch out for $6 here on a break. But we can't just keep talking about these same names. So let's go over to GE today and see the kind of volume that they're doing. 83 million shares. The thing about GE is it's not going to be overly great for a lot of our viewers because it doesn't move that much. So, I mean, we can scalp it back and forth here, but I wouldn't really touch GE at least until a 660 break, which could be coming on depending on what these futures do now. GE down below here. Otherwise, look at this, guys. It's just bunched up. A lot of quote stuffing here, a lot of middle prints, a lot of D prints there. So I'm not going to be able to take too much advantage of that one. But we are ready for Valeria again. Let's go.
Hey guys, I hope your trading day is going great and hopefully we are being helpful and entertaining. Adam making a great job on the chat helping you with the questions, and I want to be helpful as well. So guys, every day I'm picking up a question and ask it directly to traders. Also, we are preparing an educational series for you, and one of the video will be about VWAP, so subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. So Neil, what's the standard period for VWAP?
I mean, you're going to be looking at an in-day chart here. So you're going to have your 1 minute up. That's what I have. Volume weighted average price starts being calculated at the open, and that's going to be, oddly enough, it's going to be the topic of one of our videos coming out, I think, in the next couple of days. And you're going to want to make sure you tune into that. But volume weighted average price, you're going to want to watch it intraday. That's going to be the most important thing. It does gain significance after the open. It's not very important to watch VWAP. Excuse me, there. Not important to watch VWAP at 9:30 or 9:45. It starts to have a little bit more relevance later on in the day, and you'll probably never hear me start saying VWAP retracement or breakout or reload until that opening range is put in. Usually about 10 o'clock is when I'm going to be involved in it at that point. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm not usually looking at it otherwise, but I'm going to tell you something about this CAPR. I just got into this position, and you guys have been talking about this one all morning long, and I've been patiently waiting for it. This is a pretty strong stock here, and I think this is one of those situations where I literally just triple checked my stop order at 7 even just to make sure I get out if it breaks that price. Because this one, there's a lot of buying going on here. I've been watching this level too. I mean, it'll get down a few cents, and then someone has no trouble slamming the offer here. So you really got to watch out for this if you're playing the short like I am. You'll see me go counter trend with some of these names here. We're going to jump into this one, and we did do that. But just watch out very carefully. Do not hold. Have your out. Have your stop. You don't want to get burned on this one. It's been a big-time mover on the day. And you know what? I think it's looking like it wants to roll over, but it might not be done. I've got my structured trade here. I'm risking about 30 cents to make 2 to 3 times that on both of my outs. So let's see if that one can work out for us. Just be very, very careful.
Yeah, exactly. Good answer there on VWAP. And yeah, the big point for me out of all of that is that you do not need to use VWAP too early, like Neil said, because a lot of those market on open prints are such huge volume that they're going to influence that price. So that's why we look at it right here. And VWAP's a good one, to look at for support and resistance. And like Valeria, Neil, everybody keeps saying, pretty soon, it should be tomorrow, but we'll keep you guys up to date on that one. We'll be dropping our first educational video here. I mean, we have other ones on our site, but more news to come on how that's going to be operating moving forward. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, Blue Apron.
Sean, this is not my call, but someone wants me to ask you what VWAP stands for. It's not
value. Yeah. So we were doing I said volume weighted average price about 100 times, but the one time that I say value, these guys all remember that. So value weighted average price is not what it stands for.
What's ridiculous is, like, in my take, I was talking about Facebook, and when we're going to show that video, I literally said Tesla like 5 times when watching Facebook and kept having to redo it. I don't know why Tesla was on my head. It shouldn't have been in my mind today, as yesterday the short that I would have taken on it and I didn't was a winner. Today the short I do take on it in the same setup is a loser. So, my read there, obviously, if you have a setup, this is actually an important thing. I'm going to say this right now. If you have a setup, you need to take it every single time. You start picking and choosing, all of a sudden you can skew your results. The second time, if the setup happens 2 days in a row, I promise you the second day is not going to be as good as the first. So if you missed it the first day, maybe the second day you take it for a few less shares, but you got that confidence if you had it the first day. That's what it's all about. Finally, AMC, we drew a line in the sand, waiting for that move downside. We're finally getting the rewarded here. We did take out half the first test. Second test here, 534 short. Just got some more out in front of VWAP there at 514. I am still looking for a move to $5 even. Let's go. I've been trying to short this one all day long. Much like CAPR, it was that patient play. I just need to see it roll over, failing at the high, wait for my entry point, get into it. Now the move has to happen. I'm short 74s in CAPR, short 534 on AMC in the money now. NAT, we're looking for that break at 6 even. We've worked in and out of that a couple of times, still short at 617. While the market is on high of the day. So you better pick your spots carefully when you're shorting against the trend, which I'm doing.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was just about to talk about that, shorting against this trend. Look at Walmart. It's finally, it basically came back to even there, but I'm not taking even trade on Walmart. Let's see if it comes here. It is back to even now again. 123.02 is where we're short. You can see this name coming through again to the downside here. Walmart 123.22, 123 even break. If this market fades back down, which it doesn't seem to ever want to here, I think Walmart can break. So let's see if this S&P gets cracking back down to that 29.18 level, then Walmart should come back down into here. So let's give it a shot. I will take a little bit off in the 90s if it does break back down through 123, but let's hope that happens sooner rather than later. Walmart on the downside here. We are short. It's by far my biggest position capital-wise here, so I do believe in a Walmart short. It's already down 4%. Let's see if it can't fight this trend, and now with it moving in its friendly way here, let's see if the trend can be Walmart's friend and continue to go downside on this move, guys. Brendan, I think?
Just watching some energy names here, guys. Noted that crude oil was coming in a little bit. Back to 16 bucks here for crude oil. Still, I mean, 30.5% is 30.5%. But if you're noticing some of the energy names coming in, got to watch those oil futures, I think, too, guys.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop once again. We got ticked out on AMC here. We're now taking off. I'll check that. 60% of our position we've taken off here. But I'm going to look to see if we can't move this to 530 on a stop. Previously, we were giving it to the high, then to 540. And I was going to kind of give it to this, this little range here, this little wick that was right at 530 even. No, you know what? Let's actually go a little bit more aggressive than this and drop it to like 525. It's just, if we're bouncing off VWAP 2 times here, and I feel like I'm going to use that word more times than normal after that last question, if we're going to bounce a couple of times here, running into some resistance, I don't want to have a winning trade turn into a losing trade. I certainly think we have an opportunity. If we break down here at 5 even or even 515, there could be a secondary play there. And once we've paid for shorts here, just so you guys know, I can take my shares as many times as I want. I can get in and out 5 times, 10 times, a million times a day. We have those available for the rest of the session, so I don't have to, sit there and hold the trade all day long to benefit from that trade.
I mean, a million times.
Well, obviously,
that would be a lot. That would be a lot. Okay, guys. Walmart once again doesn't seem to want to go, so we bounce off 123 even there. So let's wait to see what Walmart wants to do. A big candle upside. We could have, like I said, we could have taken it out for flat there, if not like a 3-penny winner, but we're not going to do that. So we're going to wait for Walmart back up to where we shorted again. Sad. I was hoping that this one would go. Doesn't seem like it wants to. Walmart, damn it, 123.20 back to the upside. Can't catch a break on that one. Blue Apron, we did. We caught a break by coming all the way back down. We still have a third of our position as we come right back to 10.11 again. This stock is nuts. Blue Apron today, Microsoft, that's what we have on board. Let's hopefully this can go. Microsoft just checking back on that one, 174.50. We're very, very light, waiting for a high. Again, we got these ticks on the downside here, waiting for something to happen. But here we go. Come on, market. Maybe if this market falls, our Walmart will retrace back down. I don't mind this as a short, guys. Again, try to short Walmart right now. I think is a good play. Valeria at the big screen with Europe close, it looks like.
Hey guys, European market is closed for today, and let me update you on the numbers. Britain is up 2.65%, Germany is up 2.66%, France is up 2.11%, Italy is up 1.84%, Spain is up 2.89%, and Russia is up 1.85%. That's all with the euro for today, and I'll keep you updated. Back to guys.
Thanks.
So, you know what? Actually, I was just answering a question about Boeing here. And I'm going to go over this trade for you guys because this is not the best trade ever for me here. 138.50 was the level I gave you guys, and I was paying attention to that one very closely. I stopped out of this one at view up. I don't mind where I stopped out here, and that's perfectly fine. We only risked about $1, thinking it had juice to get back to that pre-market high. So, you're trying to get about 2 to 250. You risk $1. I like the structure of that trade. Here's the problem. The problem is it bottoms out here at what price? The other one that we talked about all morning long, Beauchamp and I said 135. It bounces off that 135, comes all the way back in, and where does the breakout occur? Right here at 11:17, 20 minutes ago at 138.50, same level from before. There is your move, $3.50. And someone was asking if you should go long at the top here. For me, if you take that long, you're basically either risking to $1.40 or to that 138.50. That's a lot of risk. Thinking you get a bigger move to the upside. You're probably needing it to go from 7% up on the day to like 10 or 11 when the market's looking like it wants to roll over at the top. So for me, nope. Not doing it. So I don't love the long here. I just gave you why I think I bungled that trade. Good setup and good execution to take the smaller hit on Boeing, but you really got to get back in when that level gets taken out a second time. Big upside trade. Like I just said 20 minutes ago, when a setup is there, you have to take it every single time that your system tells you to. When you start picking and choosing, you run into trouble. That's what happened for me on Boeing today.
Yeah, Boeing, this happened to me on a lot of stocks today. The futures just aren't, I'm trading the wrong stocks. I've been short, you'd think that if you're short a name up here somewhere, this is the market, that you'd be able to cash in when it comes all the way back down. But unfortunately, Walmart doing the complete opposite, 123.50. We'll be stopped out of this one soon for a loser, but what can you do on this one? There it goes. We should be getting out soon, 123.52. There it is. So yeah, a fall in the hole and flush down there on Walmart. It just doesn't seem to want to head southbound here like I thought it would, being down 3% in the market pulling back, but a little bit out there on Walmart. Look, we're still in it, but the ultimate out is going to be very, very soon on this name as it just keeps going upside here. Sorry about that, guys. I thought Walmart would be a weak name today. It was a weak name today, but we've not been able to take any advantage of that as it just continues to go upside. And there's our final out. So yeah, we roll the dice on a name that we thought would be weak. As the market falls down, Walmart goes up. So there you go.
Yeah, I would think this rollover would help me, but I'm going to show you the position more for the names that I'm in, and it's worth paying attention to the types of stocks that you're trading, and it's AMC to the short side. That one's actually working, so I shouldn't have said that. CAPR, which just, I don't know, it's a little too strong here, but 674, we have our structure. It's 30 cents that we'll lose here, maybe a little bit more to get whether it's 50 to 80 cents on a downside move. And then NAT, which keeps bouncing off that 6 even, so as much as we're up on it, I don't think the market's going to care if we take out the high in the future. That's not going to change my outlook on NAT. I still think that's that's one that's going to play off this tight stop here at 625. It's well below that VWAP. It's still in a downward trend, so I'm going to hang on to that one. We're just going to stick to the plan with all these. We're in the money on all three. We have our stop. The structure is good. The only one I'm adding to is going to be NAT through 6 even. I don't care where the market's at that point. If we break that, I'm getting short.
123.66. We'll give it another. I'm just being stubborn here at this point. We're going to give Walmart one more shot. I did hammer it again short here. 123.48 was my last short. So we're going to see if Walmart wants to come back down. A little bit of a failed break there. We'll see what it wants to do. It goes down to 123.20 there. But we'll wait to see Walmart right now breaking back downside. Let's just see. I'm going to give it to this top. If it wants to break it, then go ahead and do it one more time and we'll get out. But we are short again. Walmart 123.50 right now. Hopefully that's going to be a good one for us. We'll have to wait and see, though. This market is very, very stale right now. Okay, here we go. Now we're moving down to the downside. I just wish I had some names that were aggressive to the short side. Here I don't, apparently. I only have Walmart short, which only wants to go up. Look at AMD, a nice little move to the upside, then fading back down. That's a possible nice little short there off their earnings last night. Still down 2.45%. Let's look for a short on AMD. Hopefully that one will work out, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I apologize. You guys have been asking about a few times NCLH, and I've traded out like 12 symbols today, and I've been sort of wrapping my head around a lot of setups. And I had 20 names on my list today, which is just too many. I've completely missed NCLH here, so forget about the breakout trade that just occurred. You're probably asking about this level here, this top. It's trying to put in a lower high. It's already failed to do that at 1573. This is looking a lot like CAPR. Only this is a much, much stronger setup to the upside. And as much as I just said, the CAPR is a pretty strong trade, strong stock today, and my short trade is feeling a little bit dicey, even though the setup's okay. This one feels even stronger than that. It needs to take out 1550. I probably wouldn't jump in front of the sword on this one at all. You go to a daily chart here, and I was looking at this a few seconds ago. It doesn't have any resistance until like another, I don't know, call it 15 to 20% to the upside from here. So I don't necessarily love this short retracement play. I'm sticking away from it. I already have 3 of them on right now. This is one I'm not going to add. If it works out, fantastic. I'm not touching it. Brendan, what's up?
Watching NEO, guys. NEO back to a significant level here. 390, 388, 390 was a big level in the pre-market. We'll see what happens on this retracement. If we fail at 390, might get a test of lower prices. Still up 15% on that news from this morning, but came up here to $4 and failed. We're back below these resistance areas now from the pre-market. Guys.
I see. Sorry, go on. I was going to say, I see Mish Schneider getting ready for Market Stage. What a fantastic guest to have on here. So we're really happy. That's going to be coming up soon, guys, in approximately 5-10 minutes, 11:50. All right. Is it 45 today or 50, Brendan? 45, so 11:45. So 3 minutes till Mish Schneider. Check out Twitter to follow her. Yeah,
I just want to point out here, look, remember, this is a live YouTube broadcast. It is worth watching back a guest like Mish when she comes on here. Definitely stay tuned in. But I find I'm always watching those back 2-3 times to make sure I didn't miss anything there. You can always learn more. This is what it's all about here. Brendan, you just mentioned NEO. As much as this was a great trade off the open, if you had that short, even my second short was okay. At some point, you have to notice what the trend is. You have a bias to play the retracement and get a big win off the bat. That skews me to the south side. And when it bounces off VWAP the first time, the second time when I'm getting out of shorts, that's a reversal long. And then even better than that, when it takes out our stop at 585, that's a long signal as well. So you get that test of 4 even. Probably missed out on that trade because I had a bias to go short only in NEO and then miss what was clearly an upward trend after that initial flush.
I mean, I'm not sure Valeria's going to be marrying anybody on here, but you see that from Dane there. Yeah, maybe you can find out if that's possible. Okay, Microsoft right now. I just want to talk about that one. We are still long this 174.53. Look, I fixed these wicks and they came back. So if we could break this down, sometimes our charting, if there's ever some dark prints, because we have access to everything here, it will chart some of these dark prints. Then we need to take them out. So right here, guys, shout out to It's Airplane Jane there on social media. Loving these dark prints. Okay, 174.53. That's where we're still long Microsoft. I'm still hoping that we can crack above 175 and change. Oh yeah, you know what, Walmart? I hate your guts. because now Walmart fades right back down. We take out a small 15-cent winner. You guys know we're still short 123.50 here on Walmart. I hate being short this name. I love Walmart for a long-term trade, but for right now, it failed on that breakout. We averaged into a short before getting stopped, and then I had enough of it and went short again. So let's see. I still have some bids down here at 123 even for Walmart. You better get to 123 even, Walmart. I'm telling you, we'll hit an air horn if that ever does happen. But right here he goes. Okay, a nice little 20-penny winner now on Walmart. We'll see if this one wants to continue to work itself downside here as the futures kind of halting here. I still want to pull out this 29.18 spot. I still think that's really key. We need to break below 29.18. I mean, call it 29.15 if you want. That's that bottom. But 29.18 retested. Now we're bouncing around. So let's wait to see Walmart to the downside here. Hopefully Blue Apron, Microsoft, and Walmart. Those are my three positions.
CPR just tried to stop a bunch of people out here. And again, this is why when you see this range, it's a 690 top end of this consolidation range. And if you put your stop there, you might get wicked out. If you put your stop at that 75 area where I was getting in, you're going to get stopped out again. You have to give it some more room. You're not playing something like this if you're going to risk the minimum amount. I think you got to at least give it some range there. That allows other people to sort of get stopped out while you're still in the trade, and then you get that upside play. So if it's going to come down, it's going to give you, anywhere from a 50 cent to a dollar move. So you can't sit there sort of scribbling over 5 or 10 cents. You got to give it some room to run. Taking a losing trade from now and then, that's the cost of doing business when you trade. It's inevitable. I mean, it's just one of those things you got to do, right? You got to pay for parking when you want to go to a sporting event. You don't sit there trying to get it for free. So every once in a while, you're going to lose. Sometimes you got to open those stops up a bit to allow you to stay in the trade. There's nothing valuable about a good call if you don't position yourself for the ability to trade it and execute it well. If you can't hang on to it or be there when it's going to be a winner for you, then there's no point putting it on or being right directionally in the first place. So that's what I'm trying to live by here with CAPR. As much as it looks strong, I've got to allow it to stay underneath my stop, and I'm not going to get out till it breaks at 7, even if it does look like it's loading up. This is my setup. I'm sticking to it.
And I mean, that's exactly the whole point here. And that's why today looks like, for me, it'll probably be a losing day. We've had about 8 or 9 straight winning days. Okay, AMD could change that, though. We are short 54.04 now on AMD. That was a key level on a 3-minute. We're going to see, we are now testing 54 even. So we'll wait to see if AMD wants to head to the south side here. Just tested 54 and bounced. That's right where VWAP is. Again, I'm not going to take a 7-cent winner, though. We think AMD can get back into the 80s here. Let's wait to see on that one. But we are ready now for our guest of the day. Take it, Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, really happy to have Mish Schneider back with us from MarketGauge.com to give us her take on how things are shaping up as far as the overall markets are concerned. We'll talk on a little bit of a higher time frame for the next few minutes here and go over some charts with Mish. Lots to get to. As far as news, I want to jump right into things here. First off, good to see you, Mish. Welcome back to the show. Just saw a number out of New York saying 335 versus 330 when it comes to coronavirus hospitalizations day over day. So finally, we're seeing a little bit of stabilization maybe when it comes to some of these coronavirus numbers, especially coming out of New York State.
Yeah, and actually, I know that they're talking about, I think, like a May 13th reopening of some businesses, more of the non-essential businesses, which is great news. But of course, I also read today that if you look at when the Spanish flu hit, which was 100 years ago, there was protests around and obviously anxiety to get back to work. And then you had that incredibly horrible second wave. And I think that's what people are afraid of, even though they may get permission to go back. I mean, would you be sitting in a crowded movie theater right now, or on the subway, or, some of the other places that people tend to crowd with no problem, restaurants, etc.? I think people are going to be a little nervous.
Yeah, as some of these states do begin to reopen in stages, I guess, it'll be interesting to see if we do get that second wave, and if so, how bad it is. But let's jump right into things here, Mish. Where do you want to start? We have lots of charts to go over here. I have the Russell here, the IWM up as far as the weekly goes. What do you think of these small caps at this point?
Well, first of all, what I sent you was, I've had 2 major themes this week that keep rolling around in my head. Number one is, what if we lived under a rock and we didn't know anything about what was going on with the news and all the scary headlines, etc. And the other is kind of, let's go back old school. And just to give you a little history on that, as you know, since I was trading on the floor of the commodities exchange a long time ago and did so for a long time, we didn't have all this technical analysis that we have now available to us. We stood in the pits, we had price. We were able to sense certain things, obviously momentum, because things would get crazy, guys would jump into the pit, etc. And then in terms of the charts, I would get a Commodity Perspective magazine once a week, so I would literally have to fill in the high-low close, and by the end of the week, I would be able to make different types of trend lines, and that's exactly what I wanted to go back to today. Because believe it or not, sometimes, even though I think people tend to forget that history is important, old school really works. These are the fundamentals of the masters that have been written about for 50 years in trading, which is wedges, channels, and trend lines. So that was the backdrop I wanted to tell you. So now let's take a look at IWM. Because what's really interesting on the weekly chart, and I like to look back a little bit, get a little bit of a perspective other than just watching the daily chart, there's a wedge, and the wedge is absolutely beautiful. And I'm looking up here at it because I have it up on my screen above me. If you look at it right now, today, it is trading right to the top of that wedge. This chart that you're showing now was made yesterday, so it's really literally right to the top on that last bar of the weekly chart. And so what can happen from here? If we blast through above, say, that 135 level, can we get to 140, 145? Absolutely. The momentum on the small caps has been great. And there's two philosophies on that. Some people will say economic modern family, granddaddy, good sign, means more hopefulness for the economy, even though we got the really crappy GDP today. And other people will say that when the small caps are leading, that's actually kind of a bad sign. So again, that's one of those, let's live under a rock and just look at the chart. If we get through 135, yeah, I say we have more upside. And, I think it's unbelievable what you guys do. I did it for many years, scalping like that, but I didn't do it under a microscope the way you do. So I just wanted to give you kudos on that. But anyway, really, I think it's incredible.
We appreciate it, obviously, Misha. I guess to each their own when it comes to time frames. Obviously, we live in very, very small time frames as a result. But as you were saying, price is so key, especially on these smaller time frames. You can have a chart that is very strong or very weak, doesn't matter. But if you drill down to the level 2, you drill down to the time and sales, that's really all that matters.
That, yes, and it's good if you're going to really look at it very short term the way you guys do. It's still really helpful, I think, to have an overall idea of what the trend is, because then, if it's bullish, you maybe want to be looking more at buying the dips, and the dips could be just a few cents, like you guys look for, or even bigger than that. And we have lots of examples of that. So what I'll do very often is, if I'm going to day trade, and I certainly am not doing what you're doing, but I will actually like to day trade either the instruments I already have positions in, because I kind of know which way I'm looking, or things that I know are in a good phase and they've had a dip. Like I think Pepsi would be an example of that. It reported already, it's in a good phase, it came off this morning, it went back through really yesterday's, it's right there, yesterday's low. So that would be the kind of thing that if I were going to scalp, maybe through yesterday's low, I would look for a little bit of a move and be out, and that's it. Because I have that already back perspective.
Yeah, it was a great name yesterday as well. PEP obviously moving back to the downside today, but decent report for them. Let's move on to the retail group here. I wanted to mention yesterday we saw a nice bounce back in some retail names. Again today we're seeing some strength coming from certain retail names. Obviously earnings going to influence this group a little bit, but you have a very interesting chart here when it comes to XRT.
Yeah, and I just want to finish the thought on IWM, by the way, because it's hitting right at the top of that right now. Again, you can have two schools of thought. You can say, gee, any sign of weakness, I've got a short, and I know exactly where I'm wrong if that wedge breaks out to the upside. On the flip side, if you don't want to get caught up in the middle here, if it starts to show that it's breaking down under, say, 130, you can still have a risk that's reasonable. And obviously, we break down under the low of that wedge, To me, that would be pretty strong evidence that the rally is over and we're going to have some kind of a retest, maybe not all the way down to the March lows, but at least a more reasonable level for those of us who are not loaded up long at these levels and don't want to be and waiting for some kind of correction. That would be the signal to wait for.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, some small caps have reported, but still quite a few to go. So how much should we put behind the weighting as far as earnings go for that group as well?
Well, I mean, the earnings are going to be bad across the board. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no way, except a couple of things that may have really been prospering because of the pandemic, certain things that people are buying for necessities, et cetera. But for the most part of IWM is really the manufacturing sector of the economy. And right now, that pretty much shut down unless it was an essential service or good. So I can't imagine that the earnings have anything to do with what the price is going to happen right now. Really, this market is working on two things. The Fed, which, by the way, we have a Fed meeting today, so that's kind of interesting. And when I was listening to you guys before I came on, getting chopped up a little bit, not so surprising on a Fed day where things get a little choppy. And the other thing is the hope that everybody gets back to work and within 2 months the economy starts moving again. We've heard some, crazy predictions that like by the summer 2020, this is all going to be forgotten about and everything's just going to go back to hunky-dory. Maybe. But really it's the Fed. The number one reason why we're here right now is because of all the stimulus. There's no doubt about it. So it's a one-trick pony. We could see how long the pony keeps trotting.
And we mentioned a little bit at the beginning of the show today, Mish, how I think a lot of people are going to be hanging on that statement and hanging on the press conference that happens after the release this afternoon. Is there anything else that they could possibly throw at this market? I mean, as you said, they've thrown pretty much everything in the kitchen sink at the market at this point.
Well, I think what they're going to say is they're keeping status quo right now. Some people said maybe they're going to go to negative. I don't think so, not with the market moving up like this. But what they will say is exactly what they have been saying, which is we'll do whatever it takes to keep the economy solvent during this bad time. And what else would they say? So would that little extra reinforcement of what we already know goose the market even more? Maybe. And it could also be that the market will be disappointed because they're not doing anything more right now and just sort of on hold. That's the whole interesting thing about the Fed. We hear what we do with Fed days is we wait like it's a new opening. After the Fed announcement, which comes out at 2 o'clock Eastern time, we will wait about 10 to 15 minutes and then reset the clock for the day. So if something breaks out after about 15 minutes of that 15-minute range, particularly you guys who are day trading, that might be an opportunity to buy it. And conversely, if it breaks down under that 15-minute range. But really, we never know how the Fed digests. We usually have to wait till the next day and sometimes even 24 hours after that if you're more of a long-term trader. And considering we're into these resistance areas, that really makes sense right now to me.
And definitely, when you mentioned, I want to make sure we get to the retail, but when you mentioned the actual decision, Fed decision, I think no one is expecting, as you said, them to go to negative or possibly even move on interest rates today. It's going to be more about that accompanying statement. I want to make sure we get through some of these charts here, Mish. XRT, definitely an interesting one to say the least. We're right back to that support area again.
Well, yes. So if you looked at the chart, going back years, every time XRT reached 3850, that level 3850, that's where the straight line going across is. Really, look at how far back we go, back to 2014. That became a support area, and we would get a bounce. And of course, starting from 2018, those bounces became more shallow. So now here we are, right, hitting it. That 3850 level. And you want to talk about an aberration between the fundamentals and the technicals. Well, of course, retail, you've got Macy's, Nordstrom's, talk about filing for bankruptcies. Who's going to the malls right now? They're ghost towns, etc. But yet, some of the online earnings is in the basket of XRT. Amazon actually has gone up in weight in terms of the XRT basket, and that's one of the reasons why we're seeing it. But it's still filled with brick and mortar. So right now, once again, just like we just mentioned with IWM, this is absolutely, for a technician, one of the most exciting times, because everything is right into that resistance, which means you have an incredibly low risk short opportunity, or you have a new launch pad to say it's going higher, and if it breaks down under that wedge again, or that trend line or channel, what I've shown you, then you know you're wrong and you get out.
A lot of people have been talking about V-shaped recoveries when it comes to the overall market and these individual sectors as well. The move down was obviously so significant and broke through so many significant levels. Do we need to see a little bit of digestion at some point before we make another significant move either direction?
Yeah, well, really what you're talking about is volatility, which has calmed down, and that's a good thing. But what you're seeing as a result of that huge down move and now this accelerated V-shaped recovery, which of course you can look at it from an economic standpoint, which economists are not buying this as a V-shaped recovery, or you can look at it from a technical aspect where you see that V bottom in the charts. Essentially, really right now, the ATRs, or the ranges of instruments, have gotten blown out of the water. You've got ranges that go from like $4 a day on average to $25 a day on average, or you look at something like Tesla that has like a $70 a day average range. That becomes a really hard situation to trade. So it would be very comforting to see volatility come down and some level of consolidation or digestion, yes.
Let's move on to semiconductors here, Mish. We've had a couple of earnings reports. One of the smaller ones today, obviously stronger than expected as far as earnings go. So a nice chart as well. I mean, we're back. You mentioned channels a little earlier, but another one kind of forming a channel, and we're testing that bottom end of it again.
Well, right. So there you go. There's another. This is why I went back to old school. Look at that channel. So why basically what makes a valid channel, just so you know, is that you want to have at least 3 chart points connected, whether it be on the top or the bottom. So what you're looking at there, again, is a beautiful channel that it broke down from and went right to the top of at its highs. So you have 3 points on the top, and you've got more than 3 points on the bottom. And then, of course, where you see it crash to, I mean, this is so picture perfect, it's amazing. It crashed right down to that green line, which is the 200 week. So now we're back into the bottom of the channel, right? So this is another really interesting place. Once we get through all these earnings, we'll know if semiconductors are going to start to go up and continue through, say, these current levels up 140 and maybe even test a new high. Anything is possible living under the rock, right? Or we break down under that channel again, under that 130 level, and again, we start to see the market come off.
Let's go over to the gold market. You sent us a note yesterday saying the best trade that is out there at the moment, GDX. Tell us about it.
Well, I saw a funny tweet yesterday. I don't know who it was, but somebody wrote, even a caveman could read this chart. So I thought that was perfect because it's classic. So again, look at the channel that I drew on that broke down. And by the way, you want to see one of the most classic channels that I know you guys love to trade a lot and is actually reporting, which is Tesla. And I just want to mention that Tesla had a channel that literally went from like $250 to $400, and the price traded up and down between that $150 range for about 8 months. And then it broke down under that channel, 250, and that's when Tesla went down to 150. Okay, that was a good move. Then it came back through the channel at 250. That was also an interesting opportunity to see if you can get another move to 400, which not only did that, but once it got through 400, it traded up to 900. So I really wanted to use that as an example so that I can tell you that from just a pure science of why these channels work, classic. And that's now what we're seeing here in GDX. We had this huge channel, it broke down, and now we're back through the channel. So if it's kind of Tesla-esque, that means it really should be holding where that top of the channel is, which is about 32. So if I were going to establish a long position, I would probably risk to under that channel around 32. And look at where the top is, up at around 52. And that's really based on the measured move of the low of the price that we had in GDX in 2015 to the top of the breakout of the channel. It's somewhere about 45 to 52. That would be my target. So I think, again, it's off a little bit today, but it's been, if you look at the daily chart, it's been consolidating in a very strong place. And to me, that's an opportunity. If you want to see it takes out 34, you got basically a $2 risk. And that can really be a great risk reward to see, like I said, 45, 50, 52. It doesn't get more textbook than that.
Amish, another name that we tend to look at quite frequently on the show because of the volatility is Beyond Meat. You had a great opportunity and a tweet about a great opportunity in Beyond Meat going back, I believe it was a couple months ago at this point. Obviously a higher time frame, a little bit longer term idea. Tell us about what you were seeing in Beyond Meat and how that kind of played out.
Well, Beyond Meat, actually, I've been watching it because I think that it's a mega trend, and it's a mega trend that has exploded a little bit, but still has a lot of room to go, in that you have, especially the younger generations, starting to think more plant-based. And obviously we have all the news that with the meat plants and the pork issues, et cetera, that is also supporting the fact that meat's in shortage, and so you have more people looking at the idea of getting a plant-based diet, as well as the obvious health reasons to look at a more plant-based diet. And I'm not preaching that, I'm just saying that that's the psychology, and it's always good to understand psychology of the market. So now if we look at the actual Beyond Meat, now there are other companies like Impossible Burger, and then there are other companies that are also entering the space of plant-based meat, but Beyond's the baby. Beyond is the one that got started, went public, started out at 45, went that crazy rally. And then when the market fell apart, it went down to a low of about 48. And that's what you're referring to, is when I tweeted out that it was near its actual IPO low, and that maybe that presented as a good opportunity, which of course it wound up doing, because it's just recently traded up to around 114 from there. Huge opportunity. So now where are we at with Beyond right now? And I know I gave you a chart there too. Let me just see if I can find it myself, so I'm speaking from authority as opposed to just memory.
Yeah, just coming back to 83 and a half on Beyond. I guess it as of yesterday we were back to above that 101 area.
Yeah, we actually traded up to right. So now, again, if you put up the chart, there are two things there. There is a trend line. So you want to talk about an old-fashioned trend line. There it is. It connects the most recent swing high, and then a point below that, and then the most recent high that we had, right alongside of the 200-day moving average. So that's incredible. You have a trend line and the 200 sitting right there. Again, caveman could read that chart. This is a no-brainer. If it gets through that trend line and it gets through the 200-day moving average, and it reports, by the way, next week, I think May 5th, that would be another opportunity to get long. Right now, it's kind of chopping around. I like it, though, if it holds above this 98, 99 level. And if we can get through 103 even today or tomorrow, that might be, more of a scalp opportunity, or a sort of a 2-day, 3-day type of trade opportunity. But if you really want to get in there, I would wait for that trend line to break, and especially if it happens to coincide with the earnings next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. Obviously, the Starbucks news a little bit earlier in the month when it comes to Chinese stores of Starbucks carrying Beyond Meat products as well. Amish Schneider from Market Gauge, always a pleasure. Great information. Best of luck over the next couple of weeks. We're in the heart of earnings season, so we'll touch base with you again.
Great. See you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, Brendan. Hey, guys, have fun.
We will do our best.
Thanks for the great shout out.
We will do our best. Amish Schneider from Market Gauge giving us her take on how things are shaping up over the past couple of weeks and what we should look for going forward as far as some significant levels. Let's go back to the guys.
What an awesome guest.
Multiple
wow.
thumbs up there, guys.
Yes.
And thanks for all that. I mean, I know Misha appreciates the support as well on the chat there. So thank you for all that, guys. Everyone giving the thumbs up on the chat. Very nice to have Misha on there. Super educated. And obviously, we look forward to having her. Hopefully, weekly, we can organize that, guys.
Yeah, 100%. And if you want to follow her, we threw her Twitter handle in there. Just make sure you tune into that. And if you want to rewatch it, go ahead. We're on YouTube Live, so you can always, after the show is done, rewatch those clips. Look, it's past 12 o'clock. We've had an interesting day today. A bit of a mixed bag for me. I am in a couple of positions left. That caper didn't work out. What a turn to the upside. INO turn is okay. The CAPR turn has been fantastic. I did not reverse long. I wish I had. We are ready for the earnings calendar, I believe. So let's throw it to Brendan.
Yeah, let's go right in the heart of it, as we were saying, guys, as far as earnings goes. So lots of big names, probably the biggest of days set to come tomorrow, guys.
Tesla.
I'm not even looking. Yeah, eBay. Oh, there's that Twitter. There's McDonald's. This looks like the best day.
Yeah, I thought it might have been today, but you're absolutely right, Sean. Look, eBay, Tesla, Twitter, McDonald's, we'll see. I'd like to eat some today. Raymond James, who cares? Qualcomm, I think, should be very interesting, and Facebook's going to be a big one there, Sean.
Raymond James, who cares? Wow, throwing Raymond James under the bus. No, okay, so Microsoft is a dollar winner now, so thank God for that one. Hallelujah. Microsoft now to the upside. We are long 174.53, so that's a nice little trade there. We've been waiting for that one all day. Blue Apron is the only other show we have on still, $10.06, so 2 for 2 here. Nice wins happening. Yeah, lots of action today. Bitcoin going crazy, everything today, but let's throw it to Valeria and wrap this thing up.
Dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us today. And we reached 10,000 subscribers today. Amazing. We really appreciate your support and trying for you. Also, guys, we even ran out of time. We passed 12 p.m. because we enjoy spending time with you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. We are live every day starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And also, I sent you the links for Neil's, Sean's, and Brandon's Twitter accounts. Follow them because the whole trading day ahead, and they continue to post their charts and trades there. And as usual, I'm saying what national day is today. I know guys will love it. Today is the National Shrimp Scampi Day. It's not my day because I have allergy, but
my condolences. I love seafood, so I don't know what I'd do if I had an allergy to shrimp. That would be not very good. I love it. I do remember a certain person's wedding. I don't know who it was who had some oysters at their wedding. Thank you very much, Mr. Sean Katina.
Yeah, probably me.
Way back in the day, though.
That's why I didn't have any left there, Neil, because Neil just crushed all those oysters.
We
actually had an oyster. It was like a vodka flowing through ice, and there was all oysters there. So
great.
Party, needless to say, but I'm Italian, so what else do you expect here? But yeah, shout out to my lovely wife. We had our anniversary. I don't know, when was our anniversary? I'm just joking. April 2nd there, so shout out to that. But yeah, no, look, great show here. I know we're past the time. Thanks to all our guests today. It's been a huge day. Microsoft ripping up, Blue Apron, we're going down now. So it's going to look like a good close here today. Sorry about Walmart, guys. That stock was a tough one for me. That's my biggest loser today. We'll look to do better for you guys tomorrow, and I think we will with Tesla on deck.
Yeah, what a great day it looks like tomorrow. You saw that earnings board. For the entire team here, we love you. Thank you for the 10,000 subscribers. Valeria doing an absolutely fantastic job as always in the chat. And then you've got Mr. Sean Katina, who had those oysters that I loved at his wedding back in the day. And Brendan Wickens, always doing a fantastic job with that interview. Mich Schneider, one of our best, I think, if not our best interview ever, was today. And as always, I'm Neil Roberts.
Neil,
good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.
My God.